I've been pressed. Good evening, artists, collectors, and the curious. I'm really stoked to be here tonight with all of you for the 100th episode of Tattoo Collecting 101, streaming out live from Red Tree Tattoo Gallery and True Tattoo Supply in Columbus, Ohio. To all of our friends, followers, and anyone new here, just let us know where you're watching from or one of your favorite things about the show in the YouTube chat. You can make us smile or reminisce on something you've liked after all of these episodes, but we're always happy to hear from you guys. Beyond live shows like this, you guys can watch all of our Reinventing Network shows, art jams, drawing groups, interviews, panels, and webinars on our YouTube channel, on our website, as well as our Roku channel. If you haven't checked us out on Roku yet, you can find it by searching for Reinventing the Tattoo on your Roku device for 24/7 streaming content. This stuff is really nice to put on in the background for yourself and probably your clients too while you're tattooing. So beyond this, we have other weekly shows and drawing groups that are happening almost every single day. If you're watching, you're welcome to tune in or join on the Zoom call with us. The link for the Zooms are usually really easy to find. I'll go over that in a minute, but you can go to reinventingthetattoo.com, scroll down to our calendar, and all of those Zoom links and event descriptions are right there. So if you guys are here to watch right now, the YouTube channel is also set up for reminders about all of the other upcoming events. So if you're watching on Sunday at 1 p.m., you'll find Skill Building Sundays led by Jason Leeser. Monday mornings start early at 9 a.m. Eastern with Drawing for Tattooers led by James Wisdom. Right after that at 11 a.m. Eastern, join myself, Gabe Ripley, and Jake Meeks of Fireside Tattoo to talk about what's going on in the world of tattooing. Later on at 5 is Robbie Rapol's Let's Talk About Feelings. Monday evenings at 9 p.m. is our evening evolution class, and our second trimester is wrapping up soon. You guys can follow the link in all of our descriptions for information about all of these various learning platforms that Guy offers. Tuesdays at 10 a.m. is Tuesday Feelings by Ricardo Sturdivant. Wednesdays at noon is a Tattoo Now show, followed by our business course every other Wednesday at 1. As you guys know, right here every Thursday at 6 is Tattoo Collecting 101. Otherwise, before we kick off the show, let's thank our sponsors, as always, for helping us provide all of this content to you guys for free. We've got World Tattoo Events. Alex has the most comprehensive resource for tattoo events in the world at worldtattooevents.com. Also, thank you to Raw Pigments, any company that's tapping into the source with acrylic-free inks that have been impressing artists everywhere. For 10% off of your order, you can use code Reinventing the Tattoo at checkout at rawpigments.co for 10% off and 10% to Reinventing. Also, thank you to Gabe at Tattoo Now for providing technology, organization, and inspiration for tattooers for decades. Thank you to Fireside Tattoo, Apprenticeship Diaries, and eco-friendly tattoosupplies.com. In closing, I would love to say thank you to Guy Aitchison, the founder and inspiration behind Reinventing. Biomech Encyclopedia, DVDs, machines, paintings, and more are available on his website at guyaitchison.com. All right. I think now's a good time to bring in the host of Tattoo Collecting 101. We've got Fawn Baker, Ben Thomas, Kyle, and Todd here. I just want to say I'm really proud of all you guys for showing up every Thursday with something awesome to talk about. I recognize all the hard work and education that is taken to achieve this milestone, so I'm really excited to see what this episode has in store. All right. Here we are.
Thanks for bringing us in.
Thank you.
Great job.
You're so welcome, you guys. I'm really happy that this is the 100th episode. Gotten to know you guys pretty well.
It's kind of nuts.
Nuck and futz.
Yeah.
I've been kind of jumping down the rabbit hole of our early episodes, and we joked around that like when we were on like our 3rd and 4th episode that we'd look back and see like how bad we were at this. And like as I'm sitting here, my computer, our second computer just updated as we were starting. So I can't quite screen share yet. It's still connecting with us, but
we're getting there.
We'll be there in a moment.
But it's crazy. When Jordan and I first like started with this idea, it was like the idea was to be a podcast. And we've like gotten so far away from a podcast. We're like full video, full.
It's
like,
a show.
Still
yeah, it's a
video
full
podcast.
show.
If you want.
Show.
I mean, we call it a podcast, but it's really not. We're so
It's really
so
also
video oriented. Also,
really,
and
yeah, because
and
we
in
have all of
addition
our
to
we have the Reinventing the Tattoo podcast on Spotify, everybody. So for those of you listening, that's where you can find it too.
so we've got a crazy show lined up today. We're going to be recapping old stuff. talking about favorite guests, favorite episodes, and then we're going to be jumping into Hell City. I wore my Arizona Biltmore shirt today, as if my back wasn't enough.
Nah, I mean, I gotta do one more Biltmore block in your life.
Do we get to hear the story of the pool again?
No. So I spent the weekend pointing out my favorite block was the milk glass poured blocks. And then as we're literally walking out the fucking door, the person was like, "Oh, these glass ones, I haven't seen these all weekend. These are gorgeous." I smacked my forehead and was like, "Do you realize I've been pointing those out literally since the moment we walked in the door?"
Sometimes people have a hard time opening their eyes.
Like, these sconces
happens
are
to me that
literally
way.
my favorite thing here. Overlooked the entire time.
We didn't spend a lot of time in the gift shop this year, but we could have. And
True.
if we would have, I think I think you can buy those blocks like as a lamp, I believe. Well, we could get online and see, but I'm pretty sure. You need a Biltmore block?
Need is a strong word.
So
I have a 4-year-old. Glass is not a high on my priority.
I feel like she'd probably take that, and that's what all of her towers would be built upon.
You're probably right. She'd probably just use it in like the most utilitarian way possible.
Yeah, she'd be like, "Dad, it's a solid foundation."
It's a fucking block, bro. I won't break
Get
it.
over yourself.
She
What are
calls
you
me.
talking
She
about?
calls me bro now, like it's
Oh, I heard it.
commonplace. And
I
I
heard
was just
her
like,
call you bro the other day, and
"Did you just bro me, baby?" Like
spilled
full,
my
like,
Red Bull. I got so excited.
Do you need
proper
paper towel?
context
I'll
and
get it.
everything. But it's kind of crazy to think 100 episodes.
It's definitely changed a lot over the 100.
Yeah, but like at the core, it's the same shit.
Of course, yeah.
Like it's changed a lot, but at its base, it's still the same. You watch shows like this that have changed their format and their platform so much that to go back and watch their first episodes, you wouldn't even recognize the show.
Right.
Like we've come a long way as far as equipment and how we do what we do, but like the core of the show is still us just sitting around and smoking,
Talking
talking about tattoos.
Yeah.
Talking about tattoo related things and or not.
Tattoo life.
Tattoo life.
We've talked about a lot of like spiritual issues. We've talked a lot about like
We've had a lot of
aliens.
We've had a lot
We
of
talk a little bit about art sometimes.
weird
Just a little.
impromptu heart to hearts. The show has scary very fast into like, oh, let's get deep real quick. We've had several episodes where like we're just humming along and then suddenly we're like deep in someone's feels.
We'll be minding our own business, and before we know it, we're all like,
I'm sorry, guys. I just love you. But that just testament to how safe we feel around each other and how much this means to all of us. Like a lot of people don't have the mental ability to open up like that with their friends and have that kind of secureness and conversation. And it's we're blessed in looping now.
I don't know.
We're blessed in that we have people who listen up to do that.
Everything.
Guys, the audio just changed.
Yep, we're fixed today.
Oh, sorry.
I don't think that.
I can only push the button.
Yeah, we're good. No one's mad.
So just
Like episode 2, the
demons will always be here.
Yeah.
Messing up in a way.
There we go.
I remember when we were first learning all the equipment, just being 20 minutes late to set and just hold on, guys, we'll figure this out live. Wow.
There we go. I think the echoes are gone.
Echo check.
Did I
One,
mention that this computer just decided to update on us right as we were ready to? It's like updating now.
And look how seamlessly you handled it.
If you want to call that seamless,
I'm
we
gonna-
just had
I'd
an
say it
echo.
was pretty
That
perfect.
echo
Yeah.
was the opposite of seamless.
But last time
Which
there was
it happens.
But last time
You
there
know?
was an echo, you couldn't hear it on the recording. You could only hear it once over. So the only people that were affected by it was me and us talking smack about it. So
That's
like,
fair.
yeah.
That's fair. Well, welcome, technology demons. Thanks for entering the show.
Thank
You've
you
been
for
along
also
with us the
joining.
whole
You've been
time.
with us for a
missed you.
while.
We missed
Sometimes you pay more attention than others.
you.
but-
You are kind of like the OG cast member, technology
Exactly.
demon.
Oh, you know what we need to bring back by popular demand
What's
is a plasma ball.
Oh my
Right here.
god!
Yeah, we need a plasma
Thought
ball.
about that.
forgot all about the fucking plasma ball.
Yeah, we need to bring back the plasma ball.
That was
You
like
guys should call Jordan, set up a Zoom for the plasma ball.
Jordan, I want to talk to you. We just want to talk to the plasma ball.
You know,
You can talk to us if you want, but don't pan off that ball.
Well,
no, that used to be like a moment before every show. Like even before we went live, we all shut the fuck up for about 3 seconds, put our little hand on the ball, looked at each other and kind of zenned our energy for a second.
yeah, it was kind of
I
like,
forgot about that.
it was like our go team moment.
It really
That
was.
sounds
Yeah.
real magical.
It was.
And it happened so naturally. It was never once like a planned, hey guys, everybody touch the ball. It just worked
just
out that
happens.
way.
Yeah.
Aw.
I got some cool like slow motion videos and photography of said plasma ball, but I think in the very near future we need to bring back a plasma ball. That's where
All right, listeners, our Amazon wish list is 1 plasma ball.
Get on it.
what if
I'll reimburse you the $12.50. Just hit me up.
no, I don't need to spend any more money on fancy glass. But there are some really cool glass blowers that I follow. Like plasma sculptures. Anyways,
Stefan to be like, we could spend like $1,200 on this.
spend 12 or 1,200. What direction would we go?
I think for now 12 works.
All right.
It's a good start.
Well,
Especially until
maybe we could even find like a retro one. Maybe I'll hit the Ohio thrifts and just start
There you
buying
go.
like lava lamps and old stuff from.
For sure. Lava lamp for sure.
went up and it exploded. I didn't know you weren't supposed to change the bulb in the bottle. Apparently they get real hot.
Yeah, there's a specific temperature they need apparently.
And when they get real
Yep.
hot, they build pressure inside their little guy. And it's just a little baby like soda cup. Like,
Mhm.
like a metal pressed on soda cap on top.
Yeah.
But when they explode, it's shrapnel
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah. Usually when glass breaks because of pressure, it's
Everywhere.
a lot. Yeah.
It's,
Okay.
it was scary. There's tears involved.
Tears.
I bawled.
Well,
I had a piece of glass break on me once when I was trying to clean it, and it's just like slit my finger right open. I had to like glue it back together in the urgent care. It was not a fun time.
oh, you've had the super glue before too?
Oh yeah.
Did you know that super
I
glue
went
was
to the ER
actually
for it.
you know what? I believe it was World War One.
Yes.
Could have been, it was World War One, not
Yes.
two.
No, it was one.
Super glue was invented in World War One to close up wounds because it was so much quicker than suturing. So that's where
Okay.
super glue comes from. It
Liquid
was-
adhesive.
it originally intended to seal up wounds. So like the high tech stuff that we have now, if you've I had the pleasure of having my face glued with that stuff
Yeah.
after I wrecked my bike. It's cut on my lip and like it's got a very distinctive smell, and that distinctive
yeah.
smell is exactly the same as like
Mhm.
your everyday garden variety super glue. And like you can smell the fumes like change as the crystallization happens. Like you can smell the chemical reaction happen. So when you're at the emergency room and they use like that 2-part stuff, it's literally like the same exact. And how expensive is it? It was probably hundreds of dollars for that
Tube of super glue.
little 3 drops on my lip.
$2.99. Same shit.
That's for the 2-pack, baby.
When I sliced my thumb open, once upon a time I was a chef and I was carving a roast and cut my thumb wide open, slipped back and hit my carving hand. And I ended up driving to the tattoo studio to Body Language. And I called him. I was like, all right, who there is good with blood? And they're like, what? I was like, I'm on my way there and I am profusely bleeding and I need your help. So, I mean, it was a sterile environment. I thought I was going to like the best case scenario.
They-
Ben,
I
I
mean,
did
I'm
the
sure they
same
have the
thing
supplies.
once. I burned my hand
Yeah.
up with a lighter, a torch. I burned my hand up with a torch, and the only place I could think of was a tattoo shop to go to.
Yeah. They had everything. I went to CVS and walked into CVS like bleeding into my shirt and my chef coat on, so it was like gushing blood.
At
down
least
the
you
front
had
of
your
my
chef
shirt.
coat on because that kind of saved telling the story.
The lady at the counter looked at me and went, "Oh baby, I got you." And I grabbed a basket and we just walked up and down the aisle and grabbed every Band-Aid related item we could think of. And I went to the tattoo studio. We super glued my finger back together.
Nice.
Kevin Stress actually did it for me. Wrapped it tight as fuck because I had a banquet to serve. Changed my shirt and my jacket. Went back to the hotel and served my fucking party. By the time I was done serving, I was literally this white, like white. My accountant controller came back and sat me down and he was like, "Hey bro, you're done. Like
You gotta sit this one out. now.
call someone. There's nobody to call, boss. The food must go out." Long day, but sorry, long story short, super glue.
Super glue
Super
saves the
glue.
day. So, Kyle.
Fun. Ben,
Kyle, you're the fucking new guy still.
I am.
Yeah.
You don't get
You're
to
the
indulge
intern.
in the yesterday stories.
Oh,
That's
I
why
was,
I'm listening.
I was
Oh,
actually
enjoy.
gonna like ask Kyle what some of his favorite moments before he joined us were. Do you remember? Do you even pay any attention to us? He's like, I didn't pay any attention. Did you have any favorite guests or favorite moments?
Off the top of my head, no, I would just kind of skim through every week and listen to some of the crazy stuff that was going on. So I never got too deep into it.
So you just like pick a spot and whatever we were talking about, that spot is what you titled the video. You never followed along at all.
Pretty much.
You were missing out on all this
I
gold
know.
for how
I
long?
know.
Kyle,
I know,
I'm a
I'm
little
slacking.
disappointed.
I'm disappointed in myself actually too.
That's fair.
Look, I spend a lot of time making sure that the content goes up. I don't have a lot of time to watch the content.
That's
There's,
fair.
there's a
I
lot
mean,
that goes on.
Fair.
To be honest, until a while back, I couldn't watch them. Listening to the sound of my voice was like nails on a chalkboard, and I'm still kind of at that point. But if I don't like watch it and I just listen to it, it's a lot easier.
Without
But-
seeing your face move.
Oh, bro, it's weird.
It's a little different though.
It's just weird.
Yeah.
So Fawn and I we're doing some investigations through some videos, and we sat at my house and pulled a bunch of them up and watched them, and I about went batshit.
It wasn't that bad. After, okay, like the first 15 minutes, you were very awkward and you kept like making this weird face at yourself every time. Like telling yourself to shut up, like just stop talking, Ben. Stop talking. Stop talking. And then after like 15 or 20 minutes of that, like you relaxed a little bit and you were like, oh yeah, that was funny. And like it's kind of nice. Like once you get over like being self-conscious that you're listening to yourself and you just start re-listening, like if you get over looking for the errors and you just listen, we crack me up.
We cracked
Yeah,
me
you know what the
up.
first one that I listened to in full was?
What one?
Was when I was driving over to Indy to meet you guys up, and it was the one right after you were like really drilling into me for the first time. But as you were firing me the whole night for the very
Oh,
first
that's
time,
fun.
and I listened into that, and I was like, you know what, that is pretty funny.
Hey, man, it's all out of love, man. It's all out of love.
Do you guys, I'm just here, just hanging out, but my first
Yes, ma'am.
impression of you guys was, when you had the tattoo doula on. And I was like, what is that? You know, it was like, where did you come
I'm
up
also
with that?
confused by that
First
term.
of all, it was wonderful. So that was cool because I realized that there's a lot more to it than I had even known. And I'd been in the industry for a while. So I started paying attention. I think I'm your biggest fan.
I don't know. You got a couple competitors out there.
Well, I'm your tallest fan. I don't know.
Maybe. You like that classic Play-Doh container?
Yeah. Where'd that come from?
Baby
Sorry
mama
for
saw
the-
those in the store and
Sorry
was
for the
like,
segue.
baby daddy likes this kind of shit.
1974.
And bought Play-Doh and dumped it into the old containers and brought me 1974 Play-Doh containers because they were vintage. And I was like, "Aw,
Okay.
What
You're
a
s-
thoughtful gift.
yeah, that was so
Thoughtful
sweet." She
gift.
bought a whole set. She was like, "I'll bleed them out to you."
Nice.
That's smart.
Yeah, that's awesome.
She's cool like that.
Yeah, I'm sitting here and I'm like, that is definitely retro typography. And I roll it and I'm like, oh,
So those of you that don't know what we indulge in this show, I know a lot of people might be listening for the first time because it's a good time to catch up on what we've done and what we said. We kind of plug the shows that way. We bunny trail. It's
all kinds
what
of rabbit holes.
we do. There might be a main conversation, and I use that word loosely, might, but
We won't stay on it long.
like 8% of this show is going like, oh, the squirrel, and then it's like a 15-minute squirrel chase, and then we're like, what were we saying? I don't remember.
But that squirrel chase was something to be
Okay,
seen.
let's roll.
You know, you guys know I've always liked the idea of learning by accident, right?
Yeah, that's life.
Sweet.
People that can recognize those moments are truly intelligent. I know that sounds super, super vague, but like when you can recognize your learning and you start paying attention to those moments, it helps your memory. and you'll soak that moment in. You'll really start to absorb your surroundings and really lock it into your permanent memory. Actually, Lauren started talking to me about how to save memories, and it sent me on a fucking bunny trail of how to start organizing your brain and things like that, and how to associate like surroundings and key things to remember shit, because I've smoked since I was not fully developed in my brain, and I don't remember anything, like, ever. And I'm real bad at logging memories as photos, and when I'm in the moment, I need to take that time to like, this is probably important. Let's soak this up for a half a sec. Let's lock this in. Otherwise, I'm going to be old and be like, what'd you do in your life? Like, I was there.
I did something with
I
it.
smoked some weed. I've done like 9 million jobs, and none of them were cool, but like, here we are.
Yeah.
I don't know. Some of your jobs were pretty cool.
It's pretty.
You got some pretty cool.
I've heard some good stories.
I'm just a man of no talent, so I bounce around to a lot of different shit that I'm mediocre at, and it
But
makes
in a
it,
way, that gives you a lot of talent.
yeah. But until you need to be employed, because they're like, "Hey, what have you done?" And you're like, "A lot of."
I did a little of
So-
everything.
A lot of
Stuff?
little
Wow.
bits, but pack it together. I'm pretty cool.
Well,
It's different.
It's fair.
It's different. That's for sure.
Kyle, how
My job
long-
requires me to have a memory. I have to have a memory in my job. I mean, I can remember hands 25 years ago that I played.
Easy.
I mean, I have to remember. Have to.
Speaking of memory, Todd, do you remember what episode you joined us the first time?
13.
No,
Probably was.
I was
Let's
trying
see.
to think.
No, that was Ben Ray.
I think you're right,
Oh,
Ben.
it's Jay.
16.
Can you hear me?
Wow.
What's up, Jay?
Hey,
Yep,
Jay.
we hear
How are
you.
you?
Hey, Kyle, you got to
What's
do
up,
that
homie?
gallery view.
Yeah, I've got it on
Come
there.
on, Kyle. What the fuck? I love your
Slacker.
nervous snapback.
Can you hear me?
I know it was a
Yes,
long
sir. We
time
got you.
ago,
We can hear you, Jay.
Fawn.
Okay, so I only have like 10 minutes until my next patient comes in, but I thought I would say hi.
What's up, brother?
What's up?
Not much.
Also, an integral part
Miss you on
of
the
the
show, dude.
tattoo fam.
Yeah.
Jay has been on the show for a while. We're recapping, talking about how this is our 100th episode and kind of
Right on.
going back through your memories. So if we've only got you for like 10, what's your favorite tattoo collecting memory? What's the coolest thing that you think's happened on the show with or without you on it?
With or without me on the show?
Either your favorite moment watching or your favorite moment on. Either or, I don't care.
I don't know. I really liked that one episode that was dedicated to, I think her name is Brianna, maybe. I was
Oh,
on.
yeah, yeah.
2
Got
weeks
a-
ago, yeah.
She's got a lot of work from Max Eggy and like Timothy Bohr, but I just thought it was
Yeah.
cool, her whole collection, and like talk about the artists like in depth for a while. But I also haven't had the chance to watch many shows since then, so I don't know what else I've been missing.
Well, it's nice to hear little tips like that, because if we can start implementing frequent segments of things that people enjoy, man, that's something we want to lean on. So it's really cool to hear feedback, especially from a trusted advisor of the team.
Advisor.
Yeah.
That's
I-
about as much credit as you get from me, Jay. Just fucking take it, man.
Moderate.
That was a fun show to do. That was a fun show. She was a great guest,
Yeah.
for sure.
But yeah, I took a really, really shitty weekend job at Amazon, and it's not going great. I did it so I could get my
Jay,
head,
I love your honesty.
and like the day before I put a dead cat in, it's a return center, so a dead cat came in. People send dead fish in. I got some adult items that were basically, I scan stuff in and it tells me where to put it, and that like determines where it goes next. So this adult item that may or may not have been used is going to be resold to another Amazon customer because I wasn't trained on what to do when I received such items.
Well, this is why you should
That's why you don't.
always buy everything off of Amazon.
Well, not only that, like at the bottom, you know how they give you the discount rate? They're like, hey, this one came back slightly used. You want to pay like $6 less for it?
Don't check that box.
Let's not check that
Don't
box.
Oh my God.
Don't
Or
do that.
use a reputable source that isn't Amazon.
Amazon rules, bro. I know no one wants to give Benzo
Oh my
his money
God.
or whatever, but like I'm all about it. Like he did good. Thanks for delivering shit to my house in 2 days, bro. I don't care if you're a billionaire. Do what you want with your money. Bro.
Isn't True Tubes on Amazon
Oh,
Yeah,
now?
not yet.
Not yet, but
Not
isn't that
yet.
a thing
It
that's
will
gonna be
be.
happening? Like you'll
Yeah.
actually be able, and then they'll just be packed and sent from the warehouse like a regular order.
Yeah.
That'll be kind of cool and crazy, right?
That will be cool.
Like-
and crazy.
Automated up until Kyle and Jess's hands, then lovingly packed, just like every true tattoo supply order, right?
Yeah. In theory.
In theory, we
in
hope.
theory.
And
We
we hope,
hope.
yeah.
Jay, what's your next tattoo appointment?
January 3rd. I'm gonna start my
Ooh.
Your noggin.
noggin. I think I'm gonna do it before my leg because I need my head to be basically healed by that next Monday when I go back to work, so I'm not dropping skin flakes on patients.
Huh? Can we
You-
get you a shower cap or something?
But yeah, I'm gonna wear. I've got my mom told me I look like a Muslim when I wear it, but I've got a scrub cap that covers the whole noggin.
Let it ride, bro.
Just go for it.
The head heals really, really nicely. You'll be amazed at how quick and easy it heals.
It's always above your heart.
Yeah.
Like the sides of my head healed in like 2-3 days, dude. And I mean like fucking healed 2-3 days.
Yeah, 2 different artists, 2 different techniques and approaches, but like
Both of them, 2-3 days.
Nice.
speaking of your head tattoo, while
What
we
up?
were in Phoenix, did you see all those cactus flowers?
Yeah, I got
I was
up
so
early so I
excited.
could see them all.
I got some cool slow-mo videos, like dynamic of me like zooming into the little inner workings of them.
That's where we got the inspiration to do the head tattoo.
I know, but
was
there were so many
so many.
blooming this
We were there
year.
at the right time.
Like more than 2 or 3. They were like everywhere.
Erwin. This
Did
dark
you
purple.
did you by chance have any of the lemons or limes that were growing outside the villas?
No.
We may have tasted some with tequila and it worked out great. Highly recommend.
Ginger ale, whiskey, and lime is my new favorite fucking drink in the whole goddamn world. It's called a grumpy old man. Somebody that considers me a
Supposed to
grumpy
be
old man
dry.
introduced me to this drink, and it was fucking delicious. And it is now my go-to.
I'd drink it.
Thank you.
That sounds good.
Would you say it was?
Ginger ale, whiskey, and lime.
That's all.
That's it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I drink
It's like
that
little
right
baby
now.
Jesus came down from heaven and was like, "This is made for you, bud."
Have you had that Q ginger ale yet?
No.
It's so good. They
Oh,
have
the
like
Q8 or whatever.
it's just got like a Q on the can and it's a little can, which is nice because I don't always finish the whole
Or like
thing.
little tonic ones.
No, they're ginger
Did I
ales,
skip you?
but they have this one that's like tropical. It's like if a pina colada and a ginger ale had a baby. I know.
Mm.
I know. I
Oh,
was
don't
skeptic
say
when I
that.
tried it, but it was so good.
So we do rum?
I mean, I could put rum in it. I could put, I mean, honestly, the only time I ever drink scotch is in ginger ale. Could do just a little bit of scotch in it. But
Why are
but
we talking about
probably-
alcohol? This is not.
Because we just got back from Phoenix.
That is
There was
true.
a lot of alcohol. Like for
That's
me,
fair.
any
I'm
alcohol
like, this
is a
this
lot
is
of
not
alcohol.
this is not a conversation we normally have on podcast. It's not.
We were in
Welcome to
Phoenix.
100.
Hey, Phoenix. When,
Shit's about to
what happens in
change.
Phoenix goes down.
Yeah, I would
It's
say
free. Yeah, what
whatever
happens
happens
in
in
Phoenix
Phoenix
gets
stays-
it
yeah,
goes.
comes-
Uh,
yeah.
It kind of comes back. Maybe sort of.
Here's the thing: it's selective information. That's that.
Selective
what-
sharing.
We drank. Yes. Did I tell you what I did afterwards?
Mm-mm.
The weekend happened.
No.
No stories from Hell City. You know, Ben-
Derb should be joining us in a little bit, so I don't want to jump too far down the Hell City rabbit hole just
That's
yet.
later tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned for the Hell City recast.
No,
Stay
wait,
here.
there's
Why'd you
more.
have to ruin it, Kyle?
Amelia, no.
Jesus.
I looked at this phone.
I know. I just broke your microphone.
Hey, Kyle,
I think it's okay
can
now.
I say something
Yes.
nice? Your hair is banging
Aw.
today.
It is
Thank you.
glorious.
It is.
I noticed that when I came in. I meant to say something, but I'm an asshole.
I just had it up because I was working packing orders. So
He's a working man.
thank you. Appreciate it.
I like the way it almost looks like we coordinated today.
Is it?
Almost.
Almost. Yeah, we're all like wearing
Shirts.
reasonable shirts for
Oh,
the
like,
episode.
like almost industry. Oh, I do have an industry based
It
shirt.
is industry.
I'm normally in here in my
Okay.
work shirt.
Got the Biltmore shirt on.
Good
you
job,
got
I
Todd.
got
Red Tree
hustle
shirt
butter. You
on.
got raw.
What are you wearing? What are you wearing,
Hustle
Todd?
butter. Hustle
Nice.
butter.
Okay.
Nice.
You can't knock
It's
the
like,
hustle.
we knew. It's like we knew what we were gonna do.
Yeah.
Got some raw on
Wow.
over here.
You got your roll out?
I'm wearing Cherokee Infinity scrubs.
You know,
Yes.
Okay, get it.
Rock
Guys,
them scrubs,
go ahead and
Jay.
go say hi.
Nice. Hey.
Hello.
I need a lighter. Oh, look right there.
Asking you shall receive. I've been working on my movie voice. I don't know if you guys can tell.
Mr. Movie Phone. I can tell. It's coming along nicely.
Thank you.
It's getting very consistent.
I'm just trying to keep it level.
Do you remember the time, lady?
Which one?
Like when you were a kid and you didn't know what time it was,
Thank
so
you
you
for
would call the
calling
time.
time
Oh,
of
the
time
time
lady.
lane.
The time.
Yeah, the time. lady.
4:38, and the weather is 37 degrees.
At the tone, the time will be.
Bing.
I practiced a lot as a child.
I can tell that
I-
was smooth as fuck. AF.
Should I start speaking in my time lady voice?
Not
all
if we're
the
not
time?
changing the context of the show. Do you know that's why Bob Ross talked super soft? Because he thought that if he
This
was
is
appealing
our-
to more audiences,
This is our AM radio voice.
people would follow him. Then he used to be a drill sergeant, and he was like, "I'm just sick of being rough, so I'm gonna just be soft." 'Cause fucking trees, man.
Trees.
Happy little trees. I think I've just taken this as mine. I don't think I've passed it.
You
in
passed it. It's appropriate.
Several
You're just like
minutes.
you're just smoking it out of existence.
Hey, it happens. It's all right.
So I told the story of you double running. Okay, no, we'll do it later.
What?
No, can't do it. Can't do it. It's later.
What?
Keep them enticed for
Run a
Hell
schedule.
City
Come on.
recap.
Oh, geez.
It's Hell City related.
Well,
I know. That's why we're gonna wait and talk
Yeah.
about it later in the show when we're talking about Hell. Jeez,
geez.
trying to map everything out for this guy.
I'm on your side.
I'm gonna fire you.
I'd like to see you try.
I don't.
Oh, it's so fun.
think I
Have you
need
figured out a time
like,
What's
for me
that,
and
Todd?
you? Have you figured out a
Um,
time for me and you?
Probably any of the upcoming Thursdays. We just got a little bit behind schedule. We were supposed to
Next week?
actually have our 100th episode last week, but
should be
I
correct.
was on the road. We were not prepared.
Nah.
There was actually
How
work
about next week?
that went into
Because I'd
this.
like to be healed before I go to Vegas.
You'll be fine.
I mean, I don't usually schedule appointments on the air, but that would more than likely work. I like
I
dedicate
don't
my
normally schedule appointments on the air. There's a fucking process. Call the goddamn secretary, not a secretary. What do you? Intern. Manager. Call the fucking manager. I happened to be in the manager's apartment last night and was like, book me 2 appointments. Oh, by the way, I booked 2
Oh, I guess
appointments.
I don't.
If
So,
those of you that don't know,
probably-
my baby mom is Fawn's manager. So it makes it pretty simple to get appointments. I don't call anybody. Just like put me on the books.
But more than likely, I think next week would work great if it works for you, Todd. I'll have all day
Yeah,
dedicated to the show, just like this week. So
yeah, it would work.
Are we tattooing your face,
I
Todd?
want to be healed before I go to Vegas. That's why I'm.
Todd,
We're
what
doing your face.
what have been some of your favorite episodes?
The Brianna one, Tony, Chuck's first one.
Could you screen share
Um,
part of this episode, Kyle?
What else? There's been a few, you know.
I'm trying to figure out what the first episode that we had you was, Todd, and I believe 16 and 17. We had you and Guy,
Long
and then we
shows.
had you and Chuck. The first time we had you
Yeah.
and Chuck on together.
Do you have a
that
particular
long
spot
ago?
or it's just any moment?
Just jump in.
I'm on 15.
What's
I'm on
his
the
way
Lost
back from
episodes,
Europe.
too.
We do have a few lost episodes that weren't like really episodes. They were just, we like set up the mics and recorded.
Yeah.
No, remember like the first one we did about Phoenix, and like it's one of the first clips I've ever had of us being on podcast. Got completely
noticed
deleted.
even more
Hey,
is
Look at
I'll
that.
get like a temporary
Look at
like
that.
speech impediment or like a stutter.
Yeah,
No
I
net.
do miss those mics. I have to admit, those were pretty cool. Hey, there's Chuck's.
Something that's in motion and moving.
yeah, I like those mics too.
Not just a still, like.
Okay, I gotta go, guys.
Yeah, like I've had this forever.
You
I'm
gotta
only
get going,
noticing
Jay.
Now, like
I do
the
my
other
page.
hand is like playing with one of the whiskers.
Bye.
Later,
See you,
Jay.
Thanks
Thanks for
joining
joining us
us.
for
Joining
100,
us.
man. We appreciate you. Later, brother. That was the fadeaway. For those of you that don't know.
That's one
Yeah,
of
you
my,
can jump
that's,
back into playing now.
You know, I love
that
that.
tattoo's one of my favorite Chuck's got.
sometimes you see things that you never noticed before, and
Oh,
it doesn't always have to be like a hidden dick, like. And yeah, this is definitely when people see that one, they usually want to take a picture of the pumpkin head.
I do love
Yeah.
how thoughtful those ambient lights are, like wrapping around. You've got that like warm red into purple into like that cool blue on the opposite side. Our sound has definitely gotten
Like
better.
you said earlier,
Yeah.
a great reference, A, but B, just having like such
Camera
such a way
angle's
to work
way
in
better.
contrast. Paul's incredible at that.
Yeah, the way like with the teeth, they would
I
just
think they were still using a phone then.
the black under the tongue and between the teeth and the lip. Like my realism was one of my favorite styles for a while, because if something would pop like this, that appealed to me. And
So we
at the
on
time,
episode
I
19,
wasn't-
it's titled
I didn't understand
Jordan and Fawn talk about
traditional
aliens.
Asian.
Oh,
What do you think
no.
we talk
Seemed
about
like-
on that episode?
Is it aliens?
I mean,
I think we should just start marking every episode that we go into an alien squirrel chase. Just like
chase, a
chase.
squirrel
Just put an
chase.
A in parentheses at the end of the title. I would love to have an alien count, because it was like a lot of them there for a while.
Oh, I can't. That one
I do
can't
remember
share.
putting alien in the tags because I knew you guys brought it up a lot.
Aliens. Jordan used to go on, because he was super into reading all the reports and the blue book and the I don't know the words, but yeah.
The document.
So always on.
What's
his
episode
mind.
25?
I don't know. It has my name on it.
Let's see.
It's probably
25
shit.
with them.
Yeah, I think the first one I was on was like 5.
Yeah, you were on pretty early.
Wow. Gabe used to be
Okay.
enthusiastic.
Gabe is still enthusiastic. Best.
I love that guy.
Hold
Very
on.
genuine.
Play that intro where Gabe's like,
Play the
quiet on the
intro.
set. Let's listen to it.
Oh, he
Let's
yells
listen
at
to
us?
it. Yeah.
Let's get it. Let me roll it up.
I remember this now. Fuck Kyle.
Shh, quiet on the side, I said.
Okay.
Welcome to.
He comes in all- Welcome
This
to.
is the tattoo.
And we got like ghost voices.
It's all right. We canceled the
There's
voice
Ben.
out, but now we just can't hear Gabriel.
There's the technology demons
Look,
wearing their
look.
ugly heads.
Techno
What the
Figure
demons.
that out. I see it on your iPad. So what's being shown?
Okay. You know, at least we have.
Look,
this.
that's before I
At
got
least- at least
glasses.
we're close enough. We can-
How'd you feel before glasses?
Like I could see.
Okay.
What a good place to stick at,
Yeah,
Kyle.
he does
Good
a really
job, bud.
You're welcome.
Incorporating color and like 3D things in his
Oh, look at that transition.
Ooh,
Yeah.
smooth. Look at that hair.
Those
I know
dreads.
Fantastic.
it's
getting
been-
pretty
it's
big
been
again.
more than several months. Maybe it was a year or so ago, but I know he and Guy were looking for somebody to do a collaborative piece on, and like,
I don't have a lot of real estate, but man, that would be an amazing.
Am I talking about Guy and Keoki here? Is that who I'm talking about?
I think so.
Yeah.
Let's maybe go ahead and. I keep thinking about it.
Have you ever seen Max Beer's work?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's who we're talking about.
Yeah.
Is Guy
No,
and
I didn't even
Keoki.
know
Have you made that
Beers.
happen yet?
Max is his
No,
brother.
but
Yeah,
I
Max
did
has got
see
really good work,
Keoki
too. I
in
like
Indy a
Max's
few
work.
weeks ago.
But,
That was
I
cool.
really
Not
love
Indy,
that.
Fort
I
Wayne.
didn't
I
realize
just
they were
love it.
from Michigan until maybe like 2 years ago.
Kalamazoo.
Yeah, I had no idea. I thought. I
Well,
mean, I
Max,
always
Max
saw
is
him at
out.
like.
He goes back and forth from Hawaii.
Okay, I always saw him at like the Motor City show, and I think I've seen him at Hell City.
Check
But
out
I
episode
didn't realize they were that
26.
local.
I think that's the evening we had the Biomech panel.
Ooh, an evening of Biomech.
Yeah, well, you see what led me to believe that?
What? No shot. Are you
those
sure?
those of you that care, I actually have a list of all of our original episodes, our early episodes, on tattoocollecting.com. So if you want to jump down this rabbit hole, some of these are on our tattoo collecting podcast YouTube. Some of them are only on Facebook now, but all of these you can still access if you're really curious and want to see
a couple of them are pretty
how far
close
we've
to
come.
completion now, and there's a few that got done that are, it's just real highlights of the year. But man, I miss all you guys. This is it's cool to be able to.
That was a
drop it.
really cool
I'm
episode.
sorry, I can't hang out
I
longer.
remember that.
We got to
We
make
gotta
this
do more
happen
of
again.
these. We had an actual get together and collab party that a lot of you attended a month or two ago. We talked about doing another one of those. So yeah, let's get that going sometime sooner than later.
For sure. That sounds cool.
Yeah,
Happy to
definitely.
jump in on that for sure. Give me a little heads up. I heard about that one at the last minute. I was still working so hard.
Yeah, that's usually my case too. Is
I'm going to.
I'm working when they pop up and I realize that they're coming. I gotta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to
it's
just
hard.
set it up so that we can beam in while we're working, because usually we're working on things that apply to whatever's going on.
Yeah, no kidding.
Notice the
Ryan,
plasma
you're
balls.
Quiet now.
Yes, I think it needs to come back. That'd be a great touch.
Good to see Guy in here, man.
This is the most we had
Yeah,
for
but,
guests on at one time.
Right.
The
Yeah,
show.
when's the last time we were in the same room? It's maybe, was it the New York thing, or it's been since then, hasn't it?
One time at Hell City, we did a
Yeah.
nice hangout since that. Yeah. With
Oh,
the
that's
when
right. Yeah.
I had the class downstairs, and you had the book ready. The Biomech Encyclopedia was
Yeah.
ready for Hell City that time. So yeah,
Oh, that's right. We had our 2 copies that people could look at. Yeah.
yeah, like the prototype. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody was ready for that thing. Super awesome. And like that's another thing too, like he was asking her, Fawn asked earlier, like a good way to try to brush up on like all the ways of how this comes together, is really getting your hands on that thing at this point. If you're just some like, what is Biomech? It's definitely one of the things that, I hand my clients at times. I'm like, dude, just invest in this a bit and, turn to the
Yeah,
pages.
there's 150 artists in it, and including some classics like Giger and Beksinski, and
I feel like I could just sit here and
some of it is
rewatch
just
this whole
straight art,
episode.
A lot of it collaborative.
A lot of heavy hitters on this one.
I'm gonna have to
You
put
know,
this one on my
I
queue.
miss Hollywood Squares of Biomech
We've
right
got
now.
Geckel
Being
joined
yelled at
us.
by my daughter to
Ty joined
wrap
us.
things up. And then there's a lot of
Hollywood
actual
Squares of
tutorials, digital drawing, and
You guys want to take an on-air scam call?
I will.
That episode
Not
was
unless
like
they're
your
trying to
first
sell you
ever
insurance.
evening episode, I remember.
Hang on 1 second.
Yep, it was.
Yeah.
This is like a special event.
Man, you can have to be ready for that.
Yeah, it's soon, like 3 weeks.
Yeah, man. Awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
your moment.
So
is
those of
coming
you
right
that
up.
want to watch a Biomech
Oh, yeah.
episode,
Yeah.
whoop, there it is.
In all of its glory.
All the glory.
I'm losing all of my keys here. So in the beginning, we had Gabe to bring us in because I am too scatterbrained to do our intro. And I don't know why that's such a challenge for me. So in the beginning, were you handing that back?
No, but you
Just
can take
holding
it.
Okay.
Go for
In the
it.
beginning, we had Sandy and we had Gabe. Do we have any videos of Sandy bringing us in?
maybe like number one.
The first handful were just me and Jordan.
Okay.
Let's
That was-
go. Let's go here. Let's
We
go.
tend not to.
Let's see if
Just makes life easier.
let's
Hey, that makes me feel good though.
You
Thank you.
should. It should.
I'm jumping into some super early episodes to see if we can find somewhere Sandy's, because Sandy was a big part of it early on, because we did not know what we were doing at all.
That's how it was when
It
they
would be
started
like-
with BTG before that, all of these live shows that we did. It was like really confusing post-COVID, trying to understand how Zoom worked. I think the entire world was adapting. Yeah.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, it was always like Sandy and Gabe would pass it off. Oh, this is early. This is just me and Jordan. So episode 6, we don't even have video yet. This is just us talking. Do you want to share part of that while I jump down the rabbit hole, find some other videos?
Jump down that rabbit hole.
We've got the episode where Jordan and I went over to hyperspace. And I think after this is when we started doing the reinventing stuff. Because like before this, we were just like making nerdy videos.
Just cause.
Well, there were some videos where Jordan was just playing in like VR and like building stuff. So you'd watch like these little lights dance around each other while it was just me and Jordan talking. Black space with just lights dancing around. So I mean, it was, if you were baked enough, it was entertaining.
Number 6.
Right.
Classic.
I'm just kidding.
We'll just use a
Okay,
real
no.
life gargle if that's the noise we want going on.
Oh yeah, right.
Real life gargle.
Right. Bong just hit. Bong just hit the phone. Bong just hit the bong.
Well, I'm about to rip a dab.
Yeah, we're gonna get higher.
I mean, this is what we
Part
still
of the
sound
show.
like.
Thank you for listening to part 1 of the Tattoo Collecting Podcast with Play-Doh. We're gonna get high.
We'll be
and then
back
we're
in a
gonna
few
come
minutes
back
and
and we're gonna
actually
talk
talk more
Adam
about his
Francis' piece.
collection.
I want to talk about Adam Francis.
Ramble, ramble, ramble. Ramble, ramble, ramble.
Let's
Ramble,
go.
ramble, ramble.
I really want to talk more about Blade's collection. So let's do the run.
Oh, shit.
We've got Ben. I wonder who brings us in on this episode.
That was back in Coffee and Blunts days.
Yep.
The show used to get recorded early as well. It wasn't early. It was like 11.
Noon. We went live at
we were
noon.
So we got together at 11.
We got breakfast first.
So we were still all on Coffee and Blunts. It was a good time.
It's part of the fun.
It was. It was. You see it all fat and full.
So let's see. I can't find any Sandy episodes. I don't have any sound on this computer right now. Sorry, guys. I'm just kind of like jumping around and guessing.
We're making it work.
Do you want to play this one? This is the first one that Lauren joined us. And I didn't realize it was the first time she'd like done any of the videos at all. So
Run it. Let's listen to
Smooth.
Lauren's first
super
intro.
graceful.
To the Tattoo Collecting
Damn.
Podcast.
Welcome.
Nope.
We are here
Jordan
with
did it.
Fawn Baker and our guest Laura. Was it
Lara.
Laura or Lara?
Lara
Lara. What's your last name, Lara?
Kretler.
Kretler.
Mhm.
Well,
I don't
what's-
know you guys, but I
what are you
remember
doing
when I
for
would bring you
today?
in, and it just so happened that, let me see if I can see you. That like Sandy had a schedule conflict because she's in Canada, Canadian time.
Uh-huh.
I was like, okay, yeah, I'll do that because my experience with Zoom was through BTG, which was a virtual tattoo gathering that Guy had started throughout COVID. So what we had done
Mhm.
is like 3 full days of streaming. That was my only experience, and you'd have to call Sandy on the phone to disconnect and reconnect the links and stuff like that. So I said
I
sure, and
remember.
then I show up and it's like all you guys talking about this and like pressing buttons and things like that and reading a script. It was really cool to get, honestly, I listened to every single episode all the time, and it was really cool and neat to see it evolve for sure firsthand, just kind of stumbling into it.
No. You might be our number 1 fan.
I am.
I'm gonna make you a shirt. It's gonna say something like
Ben,
being number 1.
Number 101.
Oh,
Are you gonna play that intro or are we just gonna skip over?
come
that?
on.
It wasn't. What do you? I did play it.
Jesus.
What?
It's like talking to
Laura,
a
that Jordan did it.
Are you on 28?
What's blunt you don't
I
send
started
to
coming
him,
in
you
before
know?
that because I did your
Starting to
biomech
affect
evening.
his
So I don't really
ability.
know.
There's
Ollie.
two named the same one. Sorry.
Same guest.
Jesus.
Slightly different name.
You know, your Rick Rain show was one of my favorites. Literally,
I
I
love
think
Rick.
about it all the time.
That's episode number 30. We're
That's-
almost to that one.
That's
can jump
the
into
we
that
got
one
Rick
next.
so high we had to give him a jumbo fucking Red Bull to keep his ass awake, and he still was passing out. Oh, I love Rick. He's a good time. All right, so listen to the first intro.
Welcome to
My Zoom
welcome
is
to the show,
crashing right
Lauren.
now.
Your Zoom is crashing?
Yeah.
Literally?
Yeah, like literally.
What does that mean?
Make me the host just in case.
Okay, here we go. Here we go.
Move
You've
her to
got it.
host.
I will.
Oh my God. Podcast, one of my favorite events of the week. We have a very special guest today, the tattoo doula. And Laura's here with us to talk to us about her journey. We usually go for 3 hours, so there's so much information that we cover. Before we get started, I definitely want to highlight and You guys say can thank totally you to stop our now. sponsors for making this
No way.
come
It's
together
so
like it
good
is.
though.
We've got-
You
I didn't know
came
that
out
my
the gate
my camera was
fucking
black and
killing it.
white. I didn't
She's very
know how to
passionate
fix
about
that.
it and is offering free
It looks
samples,
retro
within
as
the
shit.
community.
Looks great.
Guy
I
told
thought
me,
it was on
Guy told me one day that it looked like I was going to serial kill people in my basement, and I should probably update my. So I did.
Okay, now that it's said, I
See
see it.
that?
I don't know.
That's
At least
fine.
now it looks like I serial kill in my office or studio.
Well, what I love is if you're not sitting in the exact right position, your face is blurry anyway.
Yeah, well,
Background blur on, and
I
it's
don't
funny
know.
because sometimes you catch the screen and it's just your fuzzy.
I know, guys. Technology demonic happenings here.
Makes me chuckle.
But
That's
even from the
all.
start, you were doing great.
Yeah, you came out the gate killing
Yeah.
it.
I didn't realize I
Integral
really
part
didn't
of the
realize that
team.
was the first like video intro and like almost no prep that you jumped into with that one.
Well, not only that, what episode was that?
28.
28.
28.
We're on 100. So you've been here with
Oh,
us
yeah.
like 75% of the time. I'm not great at math, but like
That's
You're
about
excellent at
Good.
math. Ben, you've been
That's
my
fine.
honestly, Ben, you know what I think is really cool about you is that like you have been one of the most transformative characters on the show because like when you started, your life was completely different.
yeah.
You were not single, you were doing a different job. I remember you laughing my ass off at you before I even met you. You would tell stories about like some of the jobs you were working on. It was just such a different character, and I feel like you've evolved quite a bit in the last year.
My life's changed a bunch in the last year, so that's a fair assessment. So I've
Yeah.
changed jobs. My baby's mom and I aren't together anymore, so like we switched dynamics. I've moved back into my house. I've had all kinds of crazy stuff go down that I don't. This is my place to not talk about that.
Yep.
So
Well,
being on the outside looking in, that's kind of crazy for somebody else to see that much shift. And now I'm kind of curious to see that. I kind of want to go back and pay attention.
you guys,
Yeah,
I mean,
as
if
we
you're
are
going to
watching
talk for 3 hours, that's a lot of things that you say. And I've said this before that like there's people watching, and you don't really know because you see numbers watching these YouTube videos and stuff like that, or listening to the podcast or watching on Roku. But then you see how it really affects other people's lives, and they'll just take one little thing out of the millions of things that you say, and they'll think about it every single day.
I
Crazy.
never thought of it that way until Hell City, Columbus.
Mhm.
And somebody came up and mentioned something to me about my kid. And I was just kind of like, I'm not real sure if I'm digging you knowing my real life. And I've made a great effort to stop talking about my real life since then. But no, you make a great point. You don't realize that being in somebody's ear is a big responsibility.
Mhm.
And sometimes we kind of take it lightly. And it's really humbling to hear stuff like that. And it's really honoring to hear someone say, like, that stuck with me. I know you and I had a pretty good conversation at that same show about the same thing, about just you catch these one lines, you catch this different perspective, and you hear this one thing that just really kind of,
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a responsibility we should honor, take a little bit more serious, because we do just go down random ass shit sometimes. And I don't know. It's kind of a weird spot to be in, because I never looked at it like that until someone outside of my box approached.
I think for me as a listener, that's kind of the style of shows that I was drawn to and learned from, because it's almost like you'll get bombarded with information for a moment, and then you get to like laugh about something silly, and then you get into something sentimental, and then we get down like an absurd rabbit hole, and then it swings back to something worthwhile again.
Right.
And I think it's almost like, instead of having like a constant bombardment for an hour, when it's like worthwhile information, a little bit of real life comedy sprinkled in, peculiar situations that we're in, a little bit more knowledge, a little bit more peculiar stuff. I feel like there's just, it's almost like our brain gets to breathe, and like it's almost like when you put a sitcom in the background, like you're only half paying attention to it, but you're going to chuckle at every third joke just because.
Right.
So if you're chuckling at every third joke, and then every third little piece of information you're catching a little bit too, or even if you're just listening and you hear something that's like, I thought I was the only one like that, like just to find out you're not alone, and just
Right.
catching the right thing that somebody said at the right time. Like,
Yeah.
those are the moments that make it really fun for me. And that's, I don't know, that's what makes it worthwhile. I think that's what, I don't know, keeps people coming back and paying attention to us, because like all those crazy rabbit holes are like little breaks for our brain.
Right. Well, it's really weird, because we do talk about pretty much anything. I mean, like, we've had everything from downright the whole show is jokes to next time the whole show is hugs. I remember Jordan and I did an episode. It was just him and I. It was the day you guys were in Indy, or not in Indy. I'm sorry. Excuse me. It was the day you went down to
Vegas?
with Chris down to Florida.
Oh, the Tampa
Shit
disaster.
show, the Tampa disaster. And
Oh,
Jordan and
when I was like, I can't put a good spin on this, guys. You gotta,
sorry,
I
wing it.
can't. I want to. I'm ready. I'm here. I
Can't do
put
this.
a
But Jordan and I
tasteful
ended up
spin on it.
in this fucking 2-hour like.
I was listening to you guys. You guys got like bro heavy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was super heavy. And it was all spontaneous, and it was all from the heart. It was all weird, and just it's kind of like, anybody that doesn't go to therapy won't understand this, but it's kind of like when you allow your space to explore those thoughts and have the time to actually talk through things, and you hear yourself describing situations, it puts a new perspective on it for yourself.
Mhm.
So as much as we act like we don't get, you know what I mean? I get just as much as the show from having the availability to talk through things and creating that space to have those conversations, that I've learned a shit ton. I've been able to absorb a bunch of information and be able to be involved in a community I didn't have access to. So I'm very humbled and very fortunate to it.
Do you know who one of my favorite
Get folded
guests, who I accidentally get leaky eyed every time he joins us? Do you know who it is? Do you know who I'm gonna say? Chris Taylor. Every time he joins us, I get a little bit leaky. And sometimes it's because he shares something really touching. Sometimes it's because he's getting emotional and I get like empathically like the same emotion. And other times, like, he'll just like, I don't know. He's so passionate that like
that guy oozes passion. I've never talked to, I mean, there's a couple of people that are on the same level of Tim, don't get me wrong, but every time we talk to him, he is on. I don't know how else to describe it. He wants to talk about it. He's excited to talk about it. If you have a question about history or anything related, he's like, oh my God, let me help. Like, he wants to explain. He enjoys having that mentor, especially in history stuff. Like, I love talking to Chris. He gets excited.
To jump forward into the Hell City stuff, it's funny that as much as I love talking to Chris, and as much as I think like spiritually we have in common, like with what we like, how we look at the community and our interaction with the community, I think like he's one of those people that I've always said is like on a very similar spiritual path. Like, he may be on a different place on that path, but I think we're on a very similar spiritual path. So anyways, on the way to Hell City, who do we run into?
Bump, bump.
So, and we're off the
Bump,
beaten
bump,
path. We
bump.
go to the Merrimack Caves and we're like, we stay at this little hotel. And then after that, we like go up the road and we go, it's like 10 miles off of the highway down like a 25-mile-per-hour windy road.
So what you're saying is you're kind of flying off the cuff and figuring things out. Didn't really have a schedule. Whimsy pimsily pulled up to this
Whimsy
campground.
pimsy. Yeah, there was a campground, but so it gets even weirder. So I pull up into this parking spot and it's like just a random spot that it's not full yet because it's early in the morning. And I look ahead and I'm like, ooh, that van's got the right idea. And it was like two like parking lines away from us. So probably like 25 yards away and parked in the shade. So I pull up not next to it, but a space away. And I look over and it's like, oh, that could be my van's sibling. It's like same color, similar wheels, a little baller for a cargo van. I'm like, okay, I'll be safe here. They got the right idea. Anyways, we're like getting our hoodies on because like we're going into a cave. So it's always 50 degrees underground. I don't know if you know that or not. It's always chilly. Science. Yes. Geothermal.
60.
Another rabbit hole. Anyways. So we're getting our hoodies on. And of course, I'm like finishing smoking a blunt before we go in. And I'm like eating fruit roll-ups because it's what I do.
What I mean.
I look in the rear view mirror and I was like, oh, that looks like Chris Taylor's puppy. And I like focus a little further on the person walking the puppy. And I was like, that's Chris Taylor. And then Liz is behind them with her dog and they're hanging out, Nova.
Yeah.
And Chris Taylor, of all people, was attached to the puppy that I saw. So he walks up to the van. And of course, my van has like one of the giant Hell City decals on it. And everybody who's hung out with me has smoked weed in my van. So
At least once. Parked because it's always the party barge outside the party.
Yeah.
And we can't smoke inside.
Yeah, like every convention, I'm close to the back door or closest like discreet place where we can park with manners in the parking garage. Like,
Cause I was smoking with you. It's brown and it's
so we see Chris Taylor on the way out. We hang out for a little bit, get on our way. And then on our way back from Phoenix, we don't even leave the same time, nothing like that. But I'm like driving, it's early in the morning and I'm passing the semi. And as I'm passing the semi, you know, I'm kind of a claustrophobic driver. So I'm always like watching my rear view mirrors and my side mirrors. And I look behind me and there's another Chevy Express van that's like gold root beer or gold cream soda colored. And I'm like, could that be? And then I see this big silver ring reflecting in the morning sunlight. I was
The
like,
bling
no
hits my
way. Sure enough, Chris Taylor pulls up beside us and Liz is in the passenger seat, just rolling hysterically. And of course, we pull off at the next exit and of course, smoke, walk the dogs, and then get back on our way. But it's just funny, as much as I enjoy talking to Chris and as much as we're like very similarly connected, but in like different areas
Hopefully
of
so.
the tattoo community. Like it's
So
cool
what you're
that like of
saying is-
all the people I could have run into, not once, but twice.
So what you're saying is like attracts like, and if you put your vibe out there that no matter where you are, you'll attract your crowd.
Yep. So universe keeps pulling all of us emotional tattoo marshmallows together.
Aw.
And we keep meeting up here on Tattoo Collecting 101.
The
Because like,
marshmallows.
yeah, like we're marshmallows
marshmallows.
about it. We really
I've
are though. Like
Frequently
we're
been
all
accused
so
of being a
passionate.
marshmallow.
Yeah, we're also passionate about our artwork, our collections, our experiences that have led to these collections.
Passionate marshmallows.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. But anyways, Chris Taylor's definitely one of my favorite guests. He's been on several times and I feel like he'll probably continue to be on. He was on our I believe what is our most viewed episode. We had Brian and Jen Minot, and I just worked on Jennifer yesterday.
Show Shrek.
Yeah, the ink, what is it? Ink the Bay.
Ink the fuck up.
That's the shirt I should have worn today.
You know what we
I
should.
wore that in one day and I was like my shirt Derb, he was like, burn it.
Can we make U-Haul horse shirts? Nope. Did I disconnect you? I suck at life.
You can make
It's-
any and every.
U-Haul horse. Only in Tampa.
Only in Tampa.
That sounds like it would be a short movie.
The artwork of it will just be the
I
open
think it
all
was.
of some like
I
light
think it
beating
was
out
a
of
short
it.
Nah, man.
It's like just crack.
I would show the trailer like tilted with like the cool raptor on the side of it. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I like that the back of one of the U-Haul that we took to Indy last year, it said it could fit a queen size mattress
Better days.
Fantastic. Built-in
Um,
innuendo all the time now.
Yeah.
Um,
You whores.
see, what was the next episode we were going to jump into?
I don't know.
It's the one with Rick.
Do you know
So
why I
30s
sit in the
maybe?
middle? It's because I don't want to touch.
I mean, we can
Yeah,
hand you stuff.
episode 30. Pull up some of that episode with Rick.
Absolutely not religion.
I think
I just want to
we've had
go.
him on a few times.
Next
right?
time he plays in Columbus, I just want to go on stage and go hype with him. Like, I want to spray bottles. I'll buy them.
I
I
did
wanna-
once. It's
I want
fun.
to. I just want to.
It's fun. I had like a Legion shirt on,
I'll
all
buy.
black,
I'll get
dark
some bling,
jeans.
whatever it takes.
It was cool. We went out afterwards, and his wife at the time, she was modeling, and she was like kind of like she actually got me a lot of like she was in Urban Ink a few times, so she got me a lot of like attention in that community, which is kind of cool. But anyways, so we go
if y'all
out.
didn't hear that, Fawn just kind of bragged on being in Urban Ink, like so subtly that no one even caught it. So I'm gonna go ahead and back that up. And how long ago was that?
I don't know. I'd have
Long.
to. Yeah. Yeah. I
Getting
was still in
credits,
Marion.
credits, getting credit.
Yeah, I was still
Fine,
I was in
fucking
Marion
baby.
then. But anyways, so Beth had her following. She was like showing up to club, like she was like making appearances at clubs, not just showing up. And then he'd be performing, and then I would just be like part of their entourage. But it worked out in such a way that like when she'd start to get overwhelmed, I'd be like, I got this. And then I just kind of like absorbed the attention, because at that time, like people just called me Black Gloves. Like there were people.
Talk.
Yeah, it was white girl,
No,
black gloves.
I'm getting you.
I have costumes.
It's happening. Fuck.
Well,
When we start our breakdance crew, will you hype for me? Come on, Black Gloves. I'll
black
bring you back.
gloves. What I'll do is I'll just snap my gloves. I'll snap my glove in the mic.
I'll be like your one move. I'm just saying, Black Gloves.
Do like finger
Fucking-
dances and shit.
Yeah. But
That was
at
too
that
far.
point, like I was working on a lot of the people that were in there. So it was kind of cool that like the three of us could just like trade the attention.
Right.
And I don't know. It's funny. It's hard to find that chemistry with a group of people where there's
Right.
not any like undercover, like catty, petty, competitive, like who gets more attention. It was really like, oh, you're starting to get overwhelmed.
Back
Have
up.
a seat.
Back
I got
up, yeah.
this. Yeah. It was like we would just like toss the ball back and forth, because we were all grown-ups outside of being in the club. So you know what I mean?
I'm not gonna say that it's been my lifetime dream since Steel Dragon to be pulled out of the crowd and brought onto the stage to then party with said band.
Maybe if you just start going by Benny Ben, it'll just happen.
Benny Ben? I think I can do Benny T. I've been called Benny T a lot. And I've just kind of been avoiding the natural shift being old Benny. But like, we're there. I think it's time to just embrace it.
I mean, I call you Ben Volio. That's like
That's different.
ultra old.
That's different.
That's like,
That's kind of a us thing.
okay.
If anybody else called me Benvolio, I'd probably be like, shut your dirty fucking whore down.
All right, a little aggressive.
Fair. I've got a couple names like that where if somebody like calls me one of these names,
That is
like by
not
accident.
my name for you.
Yeah, it's like that's how it is. Like,
Yeah.
oh, excuse me, if you are not
No.
blood related to
No.
me or like have
No.
known me long enough to like, no, you can't call me that.
You have not earned
And
the
it's
motherfucking
so
right.
one of them, it's not like weird or anything, but one of those nicknames for me is Fawners. And it's like, if it's not, I have some people that just think they've come up with it for the first time and they'll call me that. And I'll be like, I think you should call me that. Like,
Bend over. Yeah, no, I know.
but like, that's the one that like, since I was little, like, that's the one that like my closest family calls me. So like, even as an adult, like some of my older cousins who like babysat me when I was little, like they'll still call me
Granted
that. And-
permission.
yeah. But
Oh,
like if a rando
geez.
called me that, it'd be like,
Let me introduce you to the levels of the shit and where you are.
it doesn't make me mad. It's just like you know how sometimes people will have preference of what they are called, and sometimes that preference just changes.
Like if you call me Ben, I get,
Bin
I
with
get,
an I.
I get pretty
Bin.
upset.
Yeah, you're not a box that holds
No,
things.
no, I'm a Ben. And my favorite thing is when I pronounce my name correctly and then I get corrected. Like, hey, what's the name for the sort of Ben? Oh, Ben? No, ma'am. That is not what I said. What I said was Ben. Just like there's a difference between a pin and a pen. A pin is something you poke, a pen is something you write with. Phonetics, motherfuckers, it counts. Why am I so aggressive? Why'd you do this to me, Kyle?
Do you want to know what doesn't bother me?
I have done
Do you want to know
nothing.
what doesn't bother me? It's the hand motion when I tell people my name. Because every time it's always like a
Fawn?
and it's
Fawn.
and it's always
Like
like
the
the
little baby-
height of the head of the
the
deer.
little
But I
baby
don't
deer?
know how that's always become like the universal ever since I was a little kid. And when they do it, I imagine a tiny fawn standing there right under their hand. I think they're imagining the same thing. But every time it's always like a
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
With an F.
So driving through the middle of Whitehall, okay? Whitehall is in the middle of Columbus, Ohio. It is a very urban area. It's been a well-established neighborhood for a very long time. For those of you
They
that don't
also
live here.
called me Black Gloves there.
But I saw probably 4 or 5 different fawns, 5 or 6 different bucks.
I thought you were gonna say people that you knew named Fawn. I was gonna say,
No.
yeah, sure bet.
Field of deer. There was literally 15, 20 deer within a half-mile stretch on this road. And I was like, what is Whitehall doing with a deer population?
Its very own deer pop.
And now I'm thinking like, they're city deer, right? I could probably get real close to it.
You're gonna roll up on one next week and it's gonna be wearing like a hoodie.
got a fucking Glock strapped to his haunch.
That's a city.
It's got shoes on
Yeah.
each feet.
Stuff. But my thought is since they're a little more people, I don't know the legalities of hunting in the city, and I don't actually mean this, but how fun would it be to hunt some city deer?
So I used to go hunting with my stepdad.
I've
as
never
a-
actually
as a
been.
young person,
Yeah.
as like middle school, high school age. I won't say child, but like old enough to carry a gun. Did I carry a gun? No. But anyways, I'd like have my sketchbook and my like hot pink Sony Discman just to give you the time period, and have like Mary J. Blige in there. as I'm,
93.
like,
No, I mean 2003. I said 93 because I'm old.
99,
I
2000
said
in there.
2000.
Anyways, I'd just sit in like one of the extra deer blinds, like with the heat on, chilling all day. That was my hunting. I would, if somebody got something, I'd help haul it out. But like, I had no desire to carry a gun or shoot anything. But I'd get up before sunrise and hike out there and chill all day long, all by myself.
I do the same thing when people ask me if I want to go fishing. I'm like, no, but I'll sit at the fucking lake and get fucked up with you all day. I don't want to fish.
Yeah,
I know where
I'll
the
go
grocery
with you, but I
store
don't
is.
want to get dirty. I'll keep you company.
I just don't see the point. You
Yeah.
want to snag an animal by its mouth, to pull it up, to pull the hook out of its face and stick it back in the water? Or you could have just watched the fish swim by and not like disrupted its fucking day. I get it. It's a fish, but like,
It's nice to know if I'm ever in a survival situation, though, that I can, if I need protein,
let me tell you that the
I can capture my own.
fish aren't hard, dude.
No, they're not. But
It's not like
just
rocket
saying.
science. It's like a
sometimes it's
string
like
and a
challenge
hook.
accepted. I gotta know that I can do it.
Fair bet. I've done it enough to know.
Yeah, I've
In
I
the
mean,
emergency situation where you need a fish.
it's like, and
I'm setting a
honestly,
snag line and walking away. Like I'm not fishing for shit. I'm gonna put a bunch of
I
hooks.
feel
in the
like
water.
in the last,
I'm gonna leave.
probably like
Okay.
the last 8 years, maybe longer, maybe the last 6 or 8 years. The only times I've gone fishing is when like my nieces and nephews were fishing and just like needed help. Does that even count?
There's yes, it does. Cause same. I mean I went fishing every 4th of July and some other holiday. I don't
Little dock
remember now.
devils. You know what I'm talking about? The short little, like they're full on adult reels, but like short little ultra flexible rod.
My favorite rod to use if I have to fish is a junior rod from like Walmart
Mhm.
because I'm not trying to catch none of it.
That's basically what these are, but they've got a different like bearing ratio, so you can reel like an adult.
Right.
Yeah.
I just live La Vida Loca on the baby rod. But yeah, it's not a thing I enjoy. So weren't we talking about tattoos and podcasts? And now
Yeah.
we're talking about deer and
We were.
fishing?
Yeah.
I don't know how we got down that rabbit hole.
It happened.
Bunny trails.
Well, did somebody say the word gun?
What?
Yeah.
Fine.
When did Todd start joining us regularly? We were going to share Rick.
Yeah,
The
Rick.
episode with Rick. And then
I
the
thought
next
that's what
episode
Kyle was
Todd.
doing.
I was,
We're-
you,
we're
yeah, she
kind
was
of bleed-
talking and I was just waiting.
We were bleeding into it, and Kyle just was like, nope.
I didn't want to cut anyone off.
Cut me off.
Well, I'll cut you off, but Fawn was talking.
Jeez, Kyle. So he shuts us all up and then leaves us hanging.
Yeah. Well, the thing's lagging, okay?
Yeah. Blame the
Yeah,
things.
okay. Yeah.
Basketball.
We be in karate. Like right now, at this point, this time of the day, right now, this day.
That was my favorite episode, actually, you guys.
Yeah.
Right now, nothing. They're on the corner. They're
He
playing
said some
video
really heavy shit too.
That's
Yeah.
because their mom is at work and they got 4 or 5.
What
little
he's saying
brothers.
right now is one of the most like heavy things that I think was talked about on this show.
15 years old. You know how I know this? Because I'm in a
One of.
preschool game. You know how I know this? Because I talk to the kids. And I talked to the ones that was 11, 12, 13 years old. I talked to the ones that had 4 or 5 other siblings. You know what I mean? And it's like it turns into something that we really wanted to do as a business, and it ended up being something that really I seen and recognized that there's an issue. I went to a sit-in last year, and I'm not going to name any names, but it was a bunch of prolific, high-end men that were at this meeting, and I'm talking about city officials, everything. So the question came about is, what can we do to change the community, the urban community, especially like in areas like the Linden area that's heavily crime populated, da 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 da. So I'm sitting back because I have an answer, because honestly, how can you have a solution for something that you don't know what the problem is? You know, so I'm sitting back listening, and one guy stood up and he was all confident, and you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go and move my family out of Gehenna and go back and move into the London area, and I'm going to go around and I'm going to go door to door, and I'm going to knock on the door and tell these fathers, you need to take care of your kids. I stood up politely and said, man, you're going to get smoked.
Smoked.
You're going to get super smoked. Number one,
How do you spell that?
M.
SCH.
S is silent because he's out of here.
I fucking love Rick. Damn.
What are you talking
And you
about,
guys,
bro?
Dirk Morrison is in the house.
Like, first of all,
Oh,
as a
you guys
community-
want to jump
Let's
and
let's
talk Hell
pause
City?
this. Yeah.
Let's welcome
Bring him
Durbin.
in.
Derp,
As he
derp, derp,
slowly
derp,
join
derp, 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 derp,
You guys hear me?
derp.
Yeah.
What's
How's
up,
it
buddy?
You guys look
How are
great.
ya?
You guys look great on there. Look at that.
Do you know why we look great, Derb? Do you know why we look good?
Because you guys are great.
Take fucking great care of us, man. We're
True.
sitting on your
I try.
fucking stage with your beautiful backdrop that you allow us to use. So I'm gonna take a sec to be like, bro, good looking out. You take real good care of us. You allow us to use the facility. Like, it means a lot to us to be able to have a place that we can hang out and do what we do. And you're a big part of this, whether you realize it or not. We
Dope.
love you. Thank you.
Well,
Thank
I love you guys too. And it's always good to like provide that stuff, you know, kind of at the stage of my career that I could give back to people. I remember the very first episode that you guys had, you know, when you started this, and it's come a long ways. The viewership's come a long ways. You got just the platform, the way it looks, you know, just everything. And you guys have done this is the 100th episode.
Yes,
Yep.
sir.
That's a huge accomplishment because there's not many podcasts that even get to 100, you know?
Yep.
And
I
the
feel like
nature,
we're just getting started.
yeah, the nature of you guys, I like the direction you guys have gone too. You guys have like, you're not just specific to one thing. You're open to everything about tattooing, the collectors, and just wherever tattooing takes you during the conversation, you know? So watching that, you know, and watching you guys grow now, I can't believe you guys are seriously on your 100th episode already. It's awesome.
I was flipping through some similar like-minded podcasts that also are in the same genre as us. And
Yeah.
the majority of them are on 40 to 60 episode runs.
Yeah. It's a lot of work,
And
man.
that's
Doing a
the-
podcast isn't easy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No,
At all.
it actually, like, I've been working on stuff from the time I woke up today, and just to have everything ready. And
Yeah.
And she just lets me show up and talk.
Yeah.
well,
It's
yeah,
pretty
but
cool.
there's
You got the
like,
right personalities on here for real. You got
how
you
many
got the right
hours
people.
do we spend like Todd, how many hours have we spent just like sitting, like, yeah, we're smoking weed in the mornings, but we're like talking about ideas for future episodes and guests we need to get on. And like Ben and I will sit and talk in the evenings, like what we should do or what improvements we can make next, or like how we can segment things. And like Kyle, makes life so easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We give Kyle a lot of shit. But
Kyle's a good
he does
addition,
a
man.
lot
But
of
yes,
shit.
he is.
Yep.
Kyle, actually, we
For
haven't
sure.
even really talked about this yet. Kyle, how long have you been working with Reinventing?
A year and a half.
Jesus.
So,
2 years.
so you were
almost?
behind the scenes for a long time before any of us ever even saw your
Yeah.
face.
Yeah.
So you've
Yeah.
been making a lot of these shows possible, like just like Sandy and Gabe in the beginning, and then Lauren and Kyle, like everybody that's come on makes everything easier for all of us. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I remember
The more
Kyle,
this
like
grows.
when I first ever heard of you, you know, Gabe mentioned your names, like, hey man, he's going to do this interview with you, you know, and I've never met Kyle or anything like that. And instantly I like the guy, you know, super good guy, really calm, friendly. But man, it's good to see, honestly, where you've come since that day, since that first podcast. You're on a great panel now with Ben, Fawn, Jordan, everybody, Todd. And to see you come up in the platform too. Now you're working the True Tattoo Supply warehouse, but you do a lot of other things around there too. You're not just growing in one direction. You're growing artistically, media wise, podcast wise. I think this is very beneficial for everybody, you know, and it's good to see.
Yeah, since coming out here, man, everything's just exploded for me. So
Yeah.
it's great to see and great to be a part of the environment now.
I give you a lot of shit, but you do everything I don't want to do. And I
That's what
love
I'm
you
here
for
for.
it. Like 100%.
I don't
Well,
always
it's a-
want to do it, but it's my
You know
job,
what?
man.
One of the things, like you guys say, with me, you know, providing the platform for the podcast and stuff like that, it's not just about me. It's about all of us. You know, we're a team. I wouldn't do that stuff if I thought you guys were, you know, not going to utilize it and stuff. You guys put a lot of energy into this. I want to say congratulations on the 100th episode, because I know how much work that would be. I wouldn't even be able to do one podcast myself, you know,
Well, thanks,
because
Derek.
it's a lot of work. And I see
Yeah,
you guys
sure.
out there grinding daily. Looking at it though, seeing the backdrop and the TV and stuff, man, it looks good.
Getting better and better
getting
all the
there.
time.
I think
good.
this
Yeah.
is the
Yep.
best it's ever looked.
I think so. I mean, it's amazing. Yeah, for real. I'm very
Yep,
impressed.
we've
So
we've
what's-
come a long way.
What are you guys doing on this 100 on the 100th
So-
episode? What are you guys
We've been
doing?
trying so far. We've been trying to avoid talking about Hell City until you
Waiting on
joined
you.
us. So
Waiting on you.
Yes.
we yeah.
No, we've been
I'm
we've been
still
recapping
recovering from it.
shows. We've been talking about our favorite moments. Jay popped in for a little bit, told us about some of his favorite moments. Lawrence, I called her Lawrence. Lauren told
Lauren.
us about some of her favorite moments, and we've just kind of been
Yes.
bouncing off about the old stuff,
Yeah.
trying not to talk about Phoenix because we were kind of like saving that for when you were here.
Yeah, man. Phoenix was crazy. I'm still recovering from it. Actually, I'm at my, you guys know I'm at my Vegas house right now. Still kind of recovering from it. You know, it's a lot of work going into the shows. These last two that we did, the Ohio one and the Phoenix one, were a little bit extra challenging because with the pandemic, you know, we're coming back the first time after the pandemic.
Mhm.
I wanted to take enough time also that when we came back with Hell City, we didn't have to wear masks. So I think we came
Mhm.
back at the perfect timing. But it was a lot of work because a lot of COVID made a lot of artists like move studios, and studios closed, and artists, you know, kind of went everywhere at that point. So it was definitely a challenging year, regrouping everybody and getting everybody back in their booths. But I'll tell you what, I was real nervous too about like, will conventions come back? You know, how will the crowd be? And starting with Ohio, I knew that we were back on track. People have been waiting for Hell City and that Phoenix show. You know, and I know I said it's our last one, possibly, but looking at the Phoenix show this year was
Possibly.
yeah, possibly. You
Well,
never
we'll
know.
see how it
Little
goes.
drops, little
But
drops.
watching everybody, and I get those brief moments as the promoter where I sit back and I'm like, holy shit, this is great. You know, and I had that like outside
I
view.
did this.
Yeah, exactly like that. And
love
watching
it.
everybody in Phoenix being able to like hang out in a different capacity, not just going to the bar or going back to your hotel room to, you know, hang out and smoke. Everybody can like, you know, hang out in a different type of environment. I think that gives a different connection to the artists, to the collectors. You know, we're outside of our serious situation, like in the ballroom, tattooing and stuff. So I was blown away by Phoenix this year. We had a really, really
Well,
good year. And
You,
it
you
makes
offer
me-
that experience to the guest as well. The wristbands got you into the after hours this year. So that wasn't just
Yeah.
like an artist to artist thing.
Exactly.
Anybody that wanted to participate in that had the opportunity to then come out and get immersed into an environment they would never have access to before. And
Yeah.
that's super, super unique with that.
Yeah.
There's never really a chance where you're honored that privilege to be in that large of a room. That's a portfolio only show.
Right.
This isn't, there's no
true.
slackers on that list.
Mhm.
And to be able to just be in that room is huge.
It's
And then to
all
be able to
heavy
have
hitters.
that room in a social situation.
Yeah. And then to be able to go out and, swim with your favorite artists and meet them, in a different kind of scenario and stuff. Because sometimes in the convention, sometimes you're like distracted or you're busy. So you don't get a lot of like quality time sometimes or quality conversation. That pool is so good to chill at the hot tub, talk to people you haven't met before. It's an experience unlike anything. If you look at that group photo, like I said, that's tattoo history. Like that group photo of, was there like 100 something artists in there?
Mhm.
That to me,
That's a
it's
good photo.
tattoo history right now.
Yeah.
But we
Love it.
are already working back on Ohio. So we got Ohio coming up next year in May again.
Ready.
And we're gonna be bringing some new things too. I got some new ideas I've been wanting to focus on. I think with me taking, some time off of Phoenix and stuff, I'm going to be able to immerse, that much more in the Ohio show and add some of these things that I've been wanting to do with the show or different events that nobody's seen yet. So we're going to start applying those, to the Ohio show. So I'm excited.
So what you're saying is stay tuned. There's more.
Stay tuned. There's more. We definitely got 2 more years of Ohio. But Phoenix, I don't know. It's going to be, it's bittersweet to call it done. But I don't want to call it done because I know everybody else doesn't want to call it done.
What if it's
If that makes
something we
sense.
did like every 3 years or every 5 years?
That's
Every
that's
other year.
every other year is the
every
discussion.
other Fawn. Why you
Right?
stretching it out? man?
Well, I just want to make Derb's life easy. That's all. I just know the
Yeah.
easier Derb's life is, the more of these we get to have.
My life's
agree
easier
with that.
nowadays because of the team.
Yeah, I think
Back in the
team
day,
is-
like I'm not joking, man. Before I had managers and stuff with Health City, all those beginning years, dude, I was doing everything. I was doing the site design. I was doing
you
all
know
the
who-
brochure design. I was doing everything. So the team makes it more enjoyable, definitely.
Oh yeah.
Do you know who I think deserves a shout out, who doesn't get enough shout outs? Is Brian Midkiff.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, dude. Brian is the man. If nobody's heard of Brian
Yeah.
Midkiff, he's a tattoo collector, genuine guy, super good dude.
Love that guy.
Yeah, and he's one of the head AV guys of the whole Hell City Fest. He
Mhm.
is the social media manager for the Hell City.
He basically wrote the
Instagram,
Hell
like-
City handbook, right?
Yeah, he
Yep.
is a huge.
Who
part, in
does
my
what,
opinion.
who goes where, like names have changed
Exactly.
on the
He's taken-
handbook.
Yeah, you can tell those people that really kind of like their heart is truly in it, and Brian McKiff's heart is truly in it. Yeah. He did the Hell City Bible kind of where it shows all the jobs and positions and who's supposed to be doing what, and that takes a lot of energy.
And then he
man.
took the
So
time to like put covers on them and bind them.
bind
So that's
them,
why I
give
say the
individual
names have
ones.
changed, but the
Yeah.
books are still.
Yeah, mine's got my name on the front of it.
Yeah.
I felt as official as fuck. I still have
Yep.
it.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, you guys feel honored to work for me. I feel honored to have you guys as a part of what I do,
That's the
Even
difference
down
between
to-
a boss and a leader. A boss
True.
is you work for me. A leader says, thank you. I enjoy you being on my team.
Yeah.
And I've always, always, always respected that about you, man.
Yeah.
It's
thank you.
not about anything other than that. It's involving people in the community and enveloping people. You've got no reason to let me hang around, and I'm welcome to anything and everything that this shop does. And I've always loved that about you, man.
Mhm.
Like one of the most genuine things you can do for the community. And I'll say it out
Yeah.
loud.
And I try to make myself one of the workers too. You guys see me at the shows. Like I'm hosting the show, but I'm trying to lift things and direct and kind of be
Yeah, a
one of the
little too
workers.
much, man.
I know, yeah, everybody's
Sometimes
like,
a
"Chill
little
out,
too
dude."
much.
Yeah, I'm creeping up on
Yeah,
50
it's
now,
like-
man. I'm gonna break a hip.
Right? You got shit to do this weekend, man. We
Right?
can't have you down.
Yeah, for real. But no, it's been, you know what I mean? All 20 years of Hell City have been amazing. They've defined my life. I like to think that we've inspired a lot of tattoo conventions to kind of step up. I know a lot of promoters have come to Hell City over the years or kind of looked at us as a platform on how to either visually make their show, look better, just how to run it internally
Should
better.
we jump down the Hell City history rabbit hole? Because I bet it would only
Yeah.
take a moment for Kyle to find some classic Hell City promo videos on YouTube.
Oh,
Go,
there's
Kyle,
probably-
go. Intern
are, yeah,
test number
there's
364.
And that's one thing too, is like we've documented, like the Hell City show's been documented since we began, you know, even down to the documentary film that we made years ago that took 7 years.
And who
to
narrated
make.
that?
That was Marty Holcomb's narrating. It's like a lot of different artists. Rusty Dornecker is the one that like filmed it and put it together and stuff like that. And that's a great film. It really gives you an in-depth look. Because Hell City's not just a tattoo convention. Like I've always said, it's a community, you know, and it's a
family, bro.
I
Yeah,
just
it's
watched
like a-
that not too long ago.
The documentary?
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, it's a positive insight into tattooing. You know, it's a way for people to like see that we are in-depth artists, we're fine artists, and there's more to tattooing than, you know, just the tattoos. There's the people behind it, and to show the multifaceted, you know, paintings and stuff like that.
I remember Columbus being described several times as a love fest. I don't know if it was just the break
No, it's
between
the
not
vibe,
seeing
man.
that crowd and not having that vibe and not having that same space to have that energy available.
Yeah.
But so many people after that show was like, it was family reunion the whole time.
It feels like
City
that.
6.
Hell City,
What is this?
Oh, wait,
6?
Oh,
Oh
wait.
my god.
Oh
See
man,
this.
this was the
And-
year
and
I
the show
started.
started
Bye.
2002, so this is only, yeah, this is 6 years later. We took 2005 off. Flash Hook Tug of Wars. Oh my god.
You're gonna make me sick.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Holy shit.
Bio's come a long way.
Yeah, I know, right? This is fun to watch. Shit. Yeah, that tug of war. That was like one of the first performances we did was a Flesh Hook Tug of War.
I love the freedom of expression. It is just not something I enjoy watching anymore. So in Phoenix, that was when I chose to take my break.
Did you not watch any of that?
Ooh, look
None
at
of the
that.
tug
Yeah.
of war.
I don't hate it, but it just seemed like a good opportunity to be like,
Hey,
you know
look,
what, guys,
steel
I'm gonna
tubes.
step away from the stage. Yeah, steel tubes at a convention. I was
Hey,
gonna say.
look, coin machines and steel tubes.
HellCityTattooFest.com.
Is that still the webpage?
No, that's funny because like for a long time, man, because tattoo is one of the most misspelled words just in general. So a long time ago, my manager, me and Tony, and we kept looking at the URL hellcity.com and it wasn't available at all. Somebody's like parked on it. And then one day I'm like tattooing in my like private studio. Tony's like, hey Derb, hellcity.com is available. And I thought it would be a simpler way for promoting and, you know, just owning that domain. So we had to pay like, I think it was $2,000 to actually like purchase that domain name. But dude, it's made life so much easier, and it's easier for like promo or just people to not have to remember the like Hell City Tattoo Festival.com, you know, because if they spell it wrong, then they're not going to find it. Then they're going to get frustrated. So yeah, now it's just hellcity.com.
Back when it was Ask Jeeves, and that was back when it was Ask Jeeves, and Google wasn't really a thing.
Yeah, right.
So you couldn't really misspell shit because it
For
was
real.
like that doesn't exist, bro.
No
Sorry.
Instagram.
That old trophy that was the Bernie cutout.
Oh,
Derb,
yeah.
your trophies over
Dude.
the years have always been fantastic. I just
Yeah.
have to say that.
We've
I
always
might
tried
be
to have like
partial, but
custom awards. I think people, and that's the thing. I go into a lot of shops, you know, like any shop that has Hell City awards, like their awards are up front. You know, that's
Right.
those are the ones they're proud of because the caliber of artists you're going against at Hell City, you know, one, it's really hard to win. You know, two, the trophies are badass, man. I don't do the wood plaque trophies with the golden plate on them that, you know, cost $10. You know, I don't do the
Way to
you know,
call
the
everybody out,
plastic
man.
bowling trophy. You know, yeah, step it up, people. Seriously, do something
And there's
custom.
no-
Yeah,
whatever
no,
the artwork-
I'm in it. I love it.
Yeah, and I don't have
Real badass trophies.
yeah. So, and I think that means a lot to people, you know, having something custom that looks different than all the other ones. And that's what we've done with the convention all these years. It feels different when you walk into Hell City to people, you know, the circus
Sure.
banners and everything.
Yeah. Would you be willing to run a promo for next year in Columbus for anybody that has a shirt from Hell City that's over 10 years old?
Oh, Jesus. A promo for what?
I don't know. We can come up with the end game, but think about like, hey, wear your old Hell City merch. If
Yeah,
you've got
yeah.
a 10-year-old shirt, visit us at the
Wear it
the
and then get
booth
like
or the
half
food
off
booth
of
or
any other merch. Look at Todd. That's right.
the
See,
shirt.
he's got him sitting right there. Todd's got his trophies.
Right.
he's always got them
Right.
right.
Look at that. Yeah, Todd, you've been on that stage so many times, man. And you know, stepping on that podium of death feels different than any other
This is my
podium that you can
most-
win on.
Oh, this is
Sometimes
my
before we
favorite.
tear it
'cause I
down,
went
That's
overall.
Jeremiah
I want it to feel
Barba.
good.
Jeremiah
This is
Barba's
my
artwork.
overall one.
Nice.
Yeah, fun. Yeah.
Classic.
Just leave that there
Oh,
for
yeah.
the rest of the
Yeah,
episode.
we'll just leave that there.
Fronting on these fools.
Yeah. But I like that idea, Ben. But if you wear like a classic Hell City shirt that's not printed anymore, like half
Yeah.
off, buying whatever,
Not
you know.
A new piece of merch. Give them a discount on something new,
Yeah.
or kick them a foam finger, or
Yep.
come on.
Yeah, that's
figure
another thing
something
too. It's funny you're talking about merch because that is something like over the years, man, we've had 40 different
out. So many
shirts
designs.
probably.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah,
I saw there
so
were
many
foam fingers out
hoodies.
here and I popped off. I was like, what? No
Yeah.
shot.
I was bummed because my foam finger ripped. I've had one for my daughter since she was born. Like we gave it to her when she was like 1. Brought it home from the show for her. She had it ever since, and she ripped it. And I was like,
I hate to say it.
"No."
I don't know his name, but there was this guy that came up to Derb, and when I'm around Derb, sometimes I just stand there quietly and listen and patiently like
So kidding.
wait for him to
Just
cue me
waiting.
to pull him away.
Right.
But anyway,
True.
We got something to do.
Yeah, we're busy.
anyways, this guy was telling Derb that he got one of the rubber duckies way back when, and it was his daughter's favorite toy. Like they got it when she was
Yeah.
just a few months old, and that was the toy that she like had to. It was like her security blanket that she had to take with her for everything. And it was cool to hear like it's such a little thing, but like that means so much to that family. And every
Right.
time they saw
Yeah.
that rubber ducky, that wasn't just a random rubber ducky. That was a rubber ducky that reminded them of such a great experience.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one of the good feelings, to be honest with you, is knowing
Don't leak, Ben. It's
like,
okay.
Aw,
My feels fine.
I got a rubber ducky
Not
for
to
you
not
too,
to cut
Ben.
you off, but we've also got Jordan here joining
Hey,
us.
Jordan!
What's up,
Jordan!
buddy? Hey,
Welcome
guys.
to the 100th show. This actually all started because of I was throwing a fit to Jordan, and I was just kind of pouting because like sometimes clients just don't get it, and I don't know how to communicate to them. And he was like, "Podcast." Here we are.
It's true.
That does sound like a pretty
Literally
good
how-
idea.
it was like-
You know what we can do? We could just tell them in a very passive aggressive way.
Or in an aggressive way.
More aggressive.
You're the only one I tell aggressive stuff. I'm sorry.
I appreciate that.
It's crazy how far
Special connection.
100th episode. That's so wild.
Yep.
That's a
We're-
lot, man.
We're not
For a
babies
podcast.
anymore. We're like infants.
Jordan,
And
do
like
you remember
toddlers.
the smoke being so thick in your room that we couldn't see each other, and we were like crack windows in the middle of the show because we're all just like crying from the raps and the
Right when
extra smokes.
Yeah, you guys smoke like 6 blunts an episode, don't you? At least.
No one is
Challenge.
counting.
Like-
There's no,
Yeah.
no
That was the
Judgment
beginning, Dirk.
here.
Now we are up to 12.
Jeez, we're fucking seasoned now.
Yeah, 100
Sorry,
episodes
Jordan,
later, we're up
what'd
to
you
20
say?
blunts.
Yeah. From episode 1, there has not been one episode that we have not smoked 6 blunts.
Exactly.
I remember one show we did, and we were all like, "Wait, I thought you." Oh, I remember someone.
Episodes
Wait, you
where
did
we
a
only had like
sober
dabs
episode?
and carts.
No
No.
way. There's no such thing.
No
Yeah.
edibles. We
None
always
of us
have
are ever-
candies.
Ow.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
There's always backups on backups. There's always going to be like a Play-Doh container somewhere.
Yeah, I think that's actually what saved us. There was somebody had something stashed in their car. They're like, "It's not the best, but this is what we're doing today."
Here we go. Don't
Yeah,
mind the scenes.
didn't it start over at Jordan's? It started up in your upstairs office.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the little room.
the little
first.
room.
Yeah, the little tiny room. Yeah.
You were on for one of the first 10, Derb. I remember that.
Yeah. I was at the beginning there. And you guys don't do short episodes either. Like you guys put some fucking time in. It's not like you're on here for like 30 minutes, like, okay, thanks. No, you guys get
3
on
hours.
here. Yeah, you get down.
I feel
for real.
I feel like that's how the real conversation happens, and the real like accidental knowledge gets shared.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like hour mark. It's like once you like run out of things to talk about, and then you really start digging into like trying to find more things out of the things you've been talking about. I feel like.
Yeah.
It's the space for conversation. We were kind of talking about. I was kind of talking about it a little bit earlier. Not a lot of us allow time to have face-to-face conversation and interaction anymore. And it's one of the things that as humans we crave more than you realize. And once
yeah.
we as a group that all know each other can fall into that same groove, it's a real relaxing space that most people don't have access to because we all communicate through a screen in a fucking box. So,
Which
I
So
is
mean,
so
instead,
weird
we
nowadays.
collectively communicate through like multiple
Through
screens
multiple
and other
boxes.
boxes.
I get you too. So I mean, but like, you know what I mean? It's a chance for us to put screens down, leaving at least look at, I mean, we're looking at a screen. Don't get me wrong, but you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
a
but
chance
we're
to
more- this
allow
is face-to-face.
conversation to open. Yeah. And most people don't allow for that in their life anymore. And it's sad.
And let me tell you something, as being a tattooer, like the connection with your client, you and your, because I mean, your whole career, like you are face to face dealing with people. Like we don't tattoo people through the phone. You know, tattooing is a very hands-on, face to face, very personal, very, you know. So the nature of the media, you know, age nowadays is very different than what tattooers are actually used to. You know, we're actually used to face communicating, conventions, being there. Media is definitely a good way to be able to stay in contact with people or say hello to people or check out what they're doing, you know, but there's literally nothing like face-to-face conversations or somebody that takes the time to come see you or spend time with you, you know, to me.
There's a transfer of energy as you're touching somebody for 3 to 5 hours and putting your literal pressure and vibe into, like, I know that's a dumb word and overused, but
no.
What'd you say, Jordan?
I was just gonna say, I mean, I think about my consultation process and like, I mean, there's probably 5% of my tattoos that I do that I book online. You know, most of them are in person. They either like, if they're within 2 hours, I ask them to travel to me if they can, you know, if farther, let's do a virtual consult, but like, I don't know. I love that time to just like really sit and get to know them.
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen you do your consultations. You have like consultation days at the shop where you're just focusing primarily just on that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I know. I think, Juan, do you do that too?
Yeah. Yep. Usually I'll stack like it one day a month. If I've completed enough projects, one day a month, I will stack like 4 to 6 or will stack 4 to 6 consultations for me. And they've already been like they've gone through like the filtering process. So they're already up my alley by the time you know we have that consultation.
Yeah.
But each one is like an hour and a half. So like sometimes I need that full hour and a half. Sometimes I used to do an hour and I ended up overlapping too much. So I started doing an hour and a half. So that's really a nice amount of time to like, okay, I usually they tell me their idea in the first few minutes and then it's like, okay, well, tell me why and tell me the story behind this. And like, how can we like make this story make sense to the viewer? And, you know, then we get into like what the most important part of the story is. And by the time we're done with that consultation, the tattoo might be totally different from what they walked in thinking, but it's going to be a much more tailored custom idea for them.
And they're more excited about it because they helped create that new vision.
And then I sit there with my iPad and I come up with like our mock-up, like a rough mock-up of what most of the work that I do is freehand. So if I'm like drawing on them, I have on my iPad, I've got like a rough rendering of what goes where. And then we kind of like build it off of that mock-up. So my clients actually get to be part of that creative process with me. And it's literally like a collaboration from the start. It's their creative energy and my creative energy making something together. And then I just feel like it makes the whole project feel like teamwork. And it is just helpful to take that time to like be personal and get to know them. But
I think your clients recognize the time that you guys put in with them too, you know, with the consultation. The structure of the studio allows you guys enough time to have those days where you can like consult. And I think it's cool because when like I see you guys like hanging out in the warehouse and just chilling with like your clients, and sometimes I'm like, you guys tattooing? And you're like, no, we're just consulting. But you're out there for a while, yeah, and like hanging out, sketching. People bring you reference art, and you know, I've done a lot of consultations, you know, through my career too, but to watch you guys and how you're doing it nowadays, super personal. You guys put a lot of time in. I think a lot of people's consultations typically are like 20, 30 minutes for the average person.
Do you remember street shop consults?
Yeah,
What
that's
you
what I'm
want?
talking about. Just like, yeah.
Number
Or if you
4
can-
on the third board? Or do you want me
Yeah.
to print it off of Google? Which did you? Okay. I'll see you next Tuesday at 4.
But they're coming in and watching,
you know, Jordan, Fawn, all of our artists are watching them create these custom tattoos right in front of them, you know, tailored off of what they're saying. To me, that's, you're giving the client the ultimate experience, man. I wish back in the day, well, Guy's one of those guys that'll do that as well. He'll put a lot of time into consultation and like drawing things and stuff like that. That has a way more lasting effect on the client. And when you look at the tattoo and you go, this is totally original, you know, there's nothing that, to me, that's a lot different of a process. It's more of a personal process. So I do like how you guys do that a lot, you know. But going back to like you talking about that, the first time I got tattooed by a guy on my leg, when he's doing my leg, we went to his house, dude. He literally drew my leg first. So he's like, just stand there. And like drew my foot, drew my leg. Then he started drawing the tattoo, you know, then he started drawing on that. And it's the same type of process, you know, whereas a lot of the freehand, and then he had those references the next day for the appointment. I had never been in that type of a consultation where it's like one so in depth, like my ass, I just take a photo of the hand, draw on it, but like
draw on top of it. To
watch him draw my foot and then draw the tattoos on that, I was like, what the hell? I quit. You know, but it was so impressive. And I guess what I'm getting at is that those consultations like that are like some of my favorite tattoos because of those moments. I know he just didn't whip something together. He actually took the time to draw it up, you know, kind of like you guys do, like exactly like you guys do, because you guys are doing nothing but custom work, you know. It's amazing.
It's the same as when somebody creates art for you. When someone has you in mind and says, this canvas is for you, and I'm going to create and focus my energy on something for you, that piece of art, I don't care what it looks like when it's done, is so much more sentimental than something that
different energy
that wasn't even from the same person. Do you know what I mean? Like, it can be the same artist and the pieces have completely different like gravity to them for you personally. It's weird. It's weird.
Yeah, that's the power of tattooing.
But for me, I only had a couple in-person consultations because most of my tattoos, I've got to travel to get them.
Your conventions,
Yes, and most of them have been through emails or phone calls and that. Like for the past few years, it's mostly Megan working on me. So, you know, it's been easy just to communicate with her and that, you know, we work so good together. It's just easy. But I really, there's only been a couple artists where I've actually had that in-person consultation and talk about it and do that. But most of it's all been through email. So, you know, but I don't feel I've lost anything. Getting my collection, doing that. I feel I have great connections with all my artists. They've been great, all of them.
Yeah.
So,
Megan's just amazing. I'm sure get tattooed by Megan. You've been getting tattooed by her for a long time, you know?
Yeah.
We got to hang out with her at Hell City this year.
Dude, her and Steve.
She and Steve hung out in the Cabana Day.
Yeah.
Cabana Day.
Dude, they actually canceled their flights and everything just to hang out that extra day. Dude, it was fucking awesome. Because I was bummed. I was like, come hang out. Because last time I went to hang out with Megan and Steve, me and Sir Ben were going to drive over to Utah to go hiking and go to hot springs. And then after the last Hell City, I got COVID. So we didn't have that chance to, you know, so I was like, so I just stayed home.
You've been up to their place though, right? You've been up to their place, right?
No, we're getting ready to redo I haven't had time.
You got it, dude, man. Let me tell you, that whole area up there, she took me up by all those hot springs and that. It's just awesome up there. It really is.
Yeah, we're planning on doing that.
Yeah, Salt Lake's got its own unique feel, man. It really does. It's so beautiful around it, all the mountains and everything. Yeah, that's probably one of the best times I've ever had, is really going out to her in Utah. I mean, I've been to her at Connecticut when she had her shop in Connecticut, you know, when she was in Vegas, you know, but Utah's been my best time with her.
Yeah, Utah's just beautiful in general too.
Oh, it is. It is. It's got its own.
I think we're trying to go out again a little bit later at the end of this month, depending on how I can travel and stuff like that, you know. But yeah, we want to go out there, hike with them, and just hang out with them, man. It's fun to hang out with other artists outside of conventions and things like that too, doing completely different, you know, hiking and stuff like that, you know. And
do you have
we all hike
footage loaded on there, or is it just on the camera?
It's on the camera.
Cool. Should we get that rolling?
Yeah.
Should we just plug this into the computer or?
We're gonna do some Hell
Plug it
City
in and I'll
recap.
switch it
Oh
here.
shit.
Oh,
Let me
just
let me
hit play?
grab a jizzy. I'm gonna go grab a jizzy. I'll be right back.
Is that
One
what we're
second.
calling Jeter?
Yeah. No, no, I don't have a jeter. I wish
Thanks
I
for
had
the
a jeter.
clarification
It's
because I had no
Steezy?
idea.
Oh, you
what
like
was
those?
going
Hey,
on.
you like those
Generic,
Jeters?
generic
They're good,
Steezy.
ain't they?
Dude, the jeters are
I'm
the
just
jam.
gonna go pee.
Oh, you're
I
gonna go
know, I'm
pee?
the one that showed them it, man. I'm the one that showed them it all.
Todd,
Dude,
you missed the new release of the bubblegum cheaters in Phoenix while we were there.
I got those. I've had
Yeah.
those.
You've had the jeters, the new ones.
I've had
That's
them all,
fun.
man. I mean,
Let's
I've
see what
been
we got
smoking
here.
it for months now. They got honeydew now. You gotta try that.
What do they have?
Honeydew.
Oh, the honeydew. I didn't like. You know what's
Ooh,
funny?
that
I
would be
just
good.
had that. I did not like that.
I
as
didn't
much.
like it so much, but it was no. The Mai Tai. You
like
tried
it.
the Mai Tai yet? That's a good one.
Mai Tai. No, I like the green. What was the green ones?
Oh, that's that
Admit,
gelato one. The
Yeah.
mojito gelato.
Yeah, those are my favorites, man. Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm
the
walking
lemon
around
one,
everybody.
The lemon cello. Have you tried the lemon cello one yet? Because that's really good too.
No, I haven't done that one yet. I am looking for a
There
lighter.
we go.
in my
Bam.
home.
Sorry.
Is this the
Message
footage you
came.
guys got?
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I love watching this. Fun for the whole family. We got the kids there, exposing them to good tattooing from birth.
Oh, there's Brandon.
Brandon was a huge
I'm
help
s-
this year.
I'm so glad he came out this year and got to experience it.
Yeah, me too. And he helped, like he put in a lot of work too. He was like helping, loading the trucks. I'm sorry, I'm moving around here. Yeah, we try to have a lot of different, jewelry and merch vendors and stuff like that. A little variety.
You do a really good job curating.
As
Yeah, we
an
try to-
attendee, I can say that, Hell City is probably one of the best run conventions there are out of all that I went. It really is.
Thank you very much.
You guys run it like a machine.
Not
You
easy, but
seriously do.
yeah, it's like 20 years later. Like I said too, man, it's the team, like I've got my shit together, but I would not have my shit together if my team didn't have their shit together. If that makes any sense.
I get to watch you guys set it up a few times, and it's amazing how you guys work.
Yeah, to watch behind the scenes. Yeah, you have been behind the scenes quite a bit over the years.
Yeah, I've got to see it. It's been amazing.
Oh yeah.
He's
Yeah,
always
there's some of the
sneaking down
fine
the back
art.
stairwell with us, or sneaking us down the back stairwell,
Right?
Yeah.
showing us the fire exit without the alarm on the door.
The fire exit. Yeah, and all the fine art. The fine art gallery at Hell City used to be giant, like tons of people.
If you walk through the show, you and I were talking about this before the show, how there's less fine art in the gallery, but if you walk through, so many more artists have fine art in their booth now. So
And
like
my whole-
maybe
being the
I don't know.
promoter and just being a part of conventions for so long. So here's what's up with tattooers and us being painters. And back then, when the art gallery was like packed with paintings, that was in an era when tattooers were trying to become known as also as painters, as fine artists, to show people that we could do art off the skin and on canvas. Those days of Hell City and conventions in general had way more paintings. People traveled a lot more with paintings because we wanted to show that we were fine artists and show we could do other art. Nowadays, I don't think as many tattooers travel with their paintings, one, for the safety of their paintings, but two, they're not out, they don't have to prove that they can paint. It's kind of like a natural assumption. Like if you're a tattoo artist, you better be doing art off the skin as well. That's the only way you really improve is, like Guy says, spend more time at the art table than the bar, spend more time at the canvas than the bar.
Yep.
So that's why, so it's not a bad thing that we're not seeing as many, paintings in art galleries at tattoo conventions, but that to me, that's why I think that there's less tattooers like traveling. People used to bring like 4 to 6 paintings and just want to show off their paintings. But like I said, nowadays there's the assumption that tattooers can paint as well, but as you can still see, there's still a good amount of people bringing their fine art and stuff like that too.
I love watching the wet paint,
Yeah,
seeing
the
how
paint
things
project.
come together. Because as someone that doesn't
Uh,
paint, being able to watch some of these guys take some things that are in the beginning phases, and then seeing through the weekend as they develop through those pieces. I don't have a lot of time to stand and watch, but like just every time you walk by, if you look at the same painting, watching the layers and layers and layers and development of
Yeah.
color and how they balance and like I'm not an artist, I don't know the right words, but that's always super intriguing to me as someone that doesn't understand the process.
Yeah.
I can't tell you
And
the
that's-
age I was, but I was young when it struck me that it was like, oh, they just keep going.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like you can get to a frustrating point in a painting, but like
push
you just
past
keep
it.
going, you figure it out. Like, oh, they just keep going. And how do you get it to look more real? You just keep going.
Yeah.
How do you get it to look even more real? Keep
And
going.
that's a good thing too. I think that if you're not an artist, and sometimes even thinking about tattooing, you think people are doing half sleeves in a half an hour, like on TV, and
Right.
things like that. So to you know, that's no bag on anything, but like to be able to, like you said, the wet paint project, Ben, art fusion at the main stage, for people to see the creative process of it and how long it actually takes to do this gives them, I think, more of a respect for the art that we do, and just a better understanding. Like you're not going to walk in and get a half sleeve in a half an hour, you know. So I like being able to show people outside of tattooing how long art takes. You know, tattoos take
good footage there, guys.
Just getting a good pan. Look, they're being helpful.
See, there's me working.
That's it. I was just gonna say that's a cool thing about you, Derb. There's a lot of times there are tough, tricky jobs, and instead of like
Look, I'm showing how
delegating,
to
you
do
just
trash
do
bags.
the thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
in this instance,
Seriously.
you're doing the easiest thing, but
And
like
that-
there's not a job that you don't put your hands on.
And that's what I think keeps a respect of my crew too, is that I'm not that boss.
You
or
see
that
Tyrion there,
owner with
Derb?
with a beer in my hand telling you guys what to do. What'd you say?
You see who this is, Derb? That's Tyrion, who you worked on recently.
Oh yeah.
She's
Yep.
getting a back piece from
Yep.
Ty. She got worked on all weekend.
And Adam too. Yeah. Ty's working on her.
and
Adam's doing
Carson.
her leg. And
Carson was working on her arm. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's going hard in the paint.
Yeah.
We got to
She,
get her on soon.
She wanted me to do like a bio sleeve on her after I did her leg, but I've just, with the time, I wasn't able to get her in. So I'm glad that she's went in this direction, because her collection is amazing right now. I think it's just
she's
awesome to watch.
Yep, she's getting some heavy hitters on her. It's awesome. It's awesome to see.
Yeah, she's all
What are you
about
trying
it.
to do, Willis?
And she's
Some
funny as
amazing work on
shit
that,
too.
Tina.
That girl's funny when you're tattooing her. She's a fun one to
Mhm.
tattoo.
Oh, she seems like a monster. She sits so much better than I do. I'm squirmy and wriggly, and she's just like there for it.
Yeah, look at that. They're getting a lot done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stepped up while she was getting all
Mhm.
that done. Yeah, she's been getting covered. I think Adam's doing her whole leg, right? Or yeah, her whole other
Oh
leg.
yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Sick. Yeah. I mean, there's some heavy
So
collectors at Hell
stinking
City
nice.
too. You know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there are.
It's one of the only places I can look around and be like, okay,
You can see part of
I don't
Adam's
have
work
the
there.
most in the room.
And then there you can see Derb's work
A little bit
peeking
of
out.
Yeah, that was originally Plumley's work that I just reworked on her leg.
Mm-hmm.
See, people are just happy, man. So many fucking just artists love it. It's got a different vibe when you're tattooing there.
Well, my whole thing is this Hell City was the first convention I ever got tattooed at. Columbus
too.
2012.
Nice. What'd you get?
Worked
What was
on
your-
the sleeve.
Oh, you started a whole sleeve at Hell City.
Yeah.
Holy shit. You know, it's see, I don't realize how many people, I guess, it's affected Hell City over the years. This year in Phoenix, one thing that made me realize, one of our friends came up, and I didn't realize this, but she's like, hey, if this is your last year doing Phoenix, I just want to say thank you very much, because I met my husband here and we have a family now, and I just want to say thank you.
Wow.
And I'm like,
Oh,
you know, yeah.
Well,
But it's
your
like-
show's got that kind of draw, man. Like it's got
Yeah.
that feel.
Yes.
Like it's
Of
weird.
course.
We've had
Forest.
weddings at there. We've had weddings like on the main stage on Sunday mornings
Nice.
before people even came in there before. So
That's crazy.
we brought a lot of people together. Sometimes it's hard for me to, like realize all
We
that,
talk-
but
we
looking
talk about
back.
how Hell City's special because of the family reunion aspect. And it's like these
Look at that
sentiments
hair.
exactly that make it different from other shows.
Yeah,
I got
very true.
tattooed at Hell City and worked it the next year. I started working at the door the very next year.
Yeah. Was that your first
So-
position, just working the doors?
Yeah, I worked the door for a few years.
Where'd
Like
I first
before we
meet
even
you at, Ben?
really knew each other.
I think
Huh?
you tried to hold me in a headlock for like a minute. For the first
Yeah,
time
the
I
first
met you.
time I met you, I fought you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
To the fake death. I was
That is how we met,
pushing
yeah.
300 pounds, and the only thing I came from wrestling background. We're talking jiu-jitsu here, people. We didn't actually fight each other.
Yeah, we didn't really
I mean, they did, but
I was brand new. I'd never done it, and like literally, it was like I think it was my first time there, and I had a little bit of a wrestling
There's Austin.
background. All I needed to do was grab a hold and sit on people.
Yeah, you had me in a headlock.
Probably.
I was like, this motherfucker's huge.
I was chunky.
We've had hundreds and hundreds of fights since that.
Oh God, yeah. I
It's
couldn't
been
even begin
awesome.
to count.
Yeah. Look at that main stage. Look on the video. Look at that fucking stage.
doesn't that make you
gorgeous.
feel good? Look at Jeremy Brown.
Hey!
Jeremy's all happy.
I love that guy.
He judged.
You wanna
He
talk about
judged all the
somebody that's-
This was the
competitions.
first video you showed
Look
me
at
of the
him.
whole collection.
Look at us showing off our Adam hand tatties.
Hell yeah.
Aww.
Aw. Friends.
You
till
want
the
to talk about
end.
somebody that I'm just always happy to talk to? Every time I
Adam.
talk to that guy, it's
Or Jeremy.
like I
both.
yeah, Jeremy. I fucking love that guy.
Yeah. No, Jeremy's awesome. And he judged this year. He did both Ohio and Phoenix.
He
Mhm.
really enjoys judging, Derb. He says he learns so much every time he judges.
Dude.
And like, you know how every time I'm up there, I'm always like, I like this one because, and like, I'll go in, like, I'll critique as I'm judging. He says that he learns, like, because you and I do that, he learns, and that's why he
Yeah.
loves judging so much. So it's kind of cool that, like,
That's
as much
it's
as
funny.
I preach about it's like a weird challenge to be a judge, but also it's the best chance to see things up close. And
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's
Dude,
when
I
I
remember this tattoo and it was great. Sorry, I just got super excited. Oh my God.
we got to see the end of it. There's the
Yeah,
overall
oh.
pigments.
I believe that he was in or she or whoever that was in one of the competitions later. I definitely remember seeing that tattoo on stage. That thing was amazing when it was done. What artist was
so-
that? I'm sorry, I'm not as familiar with names as you guys are.
I don't know which artist
I
did it actually.
I panned up on his banner. I smoked a lot of weed today.
Okay. fair.
Well, the thing
Sorry,
is too, on the
random artist,
stage,
I love your
sometimes
shit.
like when we're judging, we can't ask the artist's name just out of fairness
Mhm.
and no favoritism or anything like that. So sometimes you don't get to know unless they like win or you go up to ask them personally. I
Let me
want to
tell
go
you, there
back
was
to
no favoritism.
what, oh, hell no. No, and I try to choose, very neutral judges. I try to choose judges that are actual tattoo artists. I don't want editors or, just anybody that doesn't actually
mean-
know what goes into a tattoo.
You mean I've never got a shot there? I've
No,
been
sir.
honing my skills all these
No,
years
yeah.
and paying attention.
Yep,
I've got an idea brewing and I just got to think on it more, but I really want to start like having our own award at the shows that we're able to go to, or like if we do this thing that we keep
do like a
brainstorming
tattoo
about
collecting award.
emceeing. Yeah, like if there was an
Yeah.
award that was like collector voted
Should we
or
call
like
it the ICU award?
that's a great idea.
So like just like Monster Chick, right? I don't remember her name that we were just talking about a couple of minutes ago. That's just like fucking getting heavy hit, getting all the tattoos,
Yeah,
hanging out at
yeah.
all the shows, doing the things, and being like, "We see you, super collector. We
Yeah.
see you."
Because that's a lot of
We call it the
effort. When you're
super-
getting heavily
super
tattooed and you're
collector
adding to your collection, like it's a lot of work
So-
from the artist, but it's a lot of effort on the collector as well.
we got Guy that just joined in, Derb.
God.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Hey guys, what's up?
Up, guy.
How's it
What up,
going?
guy?
Brennan.
You,
thanks for taking
you
the
guys
time.
remember this is Adam, and we actually started this tattoo on another episode of the TCP, and tonight we're finishing
Nice.
You finishing up?
Fantastic.
Hell yeah.
that's
We
particular
shared a
piece.
part of that episode earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Should we shift gears since we've
Just-
got Guy joining us?
I think so.
Well, I mean,
So-
whatever you guys want. I don't know what you were
We've-
talking
we've
about
been-
before, so
We were talking about Hell City, but we can like jump back in and finish our Hell City conversation next week. We talk about
Okay.
Hell City all the time.
Guys
We
been
only
a
get
huge
Guy's
part of
attention.
Hell City over the years too. So he's done so many different events at Hell City. you know.
Well,
over the
this
years.
is Hell City is the one convention that really, like, I think the crazy ideas that Michelle and I had, you guys were sort of like really on board with that. You were like, yeah, I mean, it's not, I know that this whole entire 4,500 square feet won't necessarily be about making money or whatever, but it's gonna instead be about, celebrating the art, inspiring the artists. A lot of the participants said that Interstate was, really a high point for them. Definitely was different, very different experience.
Yes, it was definitely. And the days before, even leading up to when Interstate was like live at Hell City, you guys were days and days in the other room, like preparing and, getting the paintings ready. Even going back to the scratchbook, the scratchbook project that you had at Hell City too was amazing. I think that was one of the first events that you did before Interstate, wasn't it? Was it the Scratch Art Project?
Yeah. 200 some odd people joined us for that. It was a really outstanding project. So I'm like running out of a bunch of things at the same time. I know I just joined the conversation, but my battery has died and my Bactine bottle is falling on the floor and my ink caps of black ink are empty. So why don't you guys pick up for a second and I'll be joining you again in a minute.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Well, let me,
So right now,
let me, wow, so you got some books there? Sorry.
yeah, as Guy was talking about Interstate, I pulled out one of the books that I rated from your bookshelf. So I was literally just flipping through this while Guy was speaking.
Wow. Yeah, see, that right there is tattoo history. That's a whole genre
being invented.
Yeah, for real.
Sorry
Seriously.
for the glares.
That's the renaissance of tattooing.
It's funny you use that word, Derb.
It is. It's definitely in its renaissance.
It's a good word.
Yes.
Like reinventing, like renaissance. Like it's all
What is that? Is that somebody breakdancing?
Who is that? Looks like it.
That is Craig Driscoll. That is Craig Driscoll.
Such good times. Such good times. Look at that.
Channeling the 80s. Yeah. Hell yeah.
That's so fun.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, I know everybody is still really experimenting and changing up the art form and everything, but there definitely was a moment where it felt like anything was possible. We hadn't seen it all yet, like now it feels like we've seen it all.
Marty Holcomb.
But these are the days, seriously, like these Interstate days and those early days at Hell City. Yeah, there's so many, I don't know, just styles and projects. And like I was talking about earlier, like tattoo artists bringing tons of paintings to the conventions. And it really, it's like I said, it's the renaissance.
Guy and Michelle right here.
Yeah, see? And I think these are the times too, when we were filming for the Hell City documentary film too. So there's a lot of the whole Interstate section in there as well. Wow.
Chris Longo.
It looked like a spaceship landed in that room because Guy, who did you bring in? Wes? You brought Wes in for all the lighting and stage building.
Wes helped out, and we had these two guys that lived at the time. They lived in Marion, the nearby town here, and they just had invented this weird lighting rig. This was back when LED technology was still sort of like, very experimental.
Yeah.
And they just loaned a bunch of these to us in exchange for being able to kind of hang out and talk with the artists and see what they thought. And, I don't think anything really ever was developed because of it, but it was still fun to be able to play around with it. The lighting was definitely too cold. I think most of the artists were like, yeah, the feeling was definitely like that sterile spaceship vibe. But, that was because LEDs were still, kind of new, and of course, getting them to a warmer white is something that the industry picked up pretty fast because they could tell there was a demand for it.
Yeah, it was a groundbreaking event, and it really opened up a lot of people's eyes. Those are the days, like I said, Guy, you weren't on here earlier when I was talking about how art galleries at tattoo conventions used to have like tons of paintings. There'd be hundreds and hundreds. You could walk through different rows And that was at an era like during the interstate era and stuff like that. But nowadays we're not seeing as many people traveling with them because it's kind of been defined better that tattoo artists can paint, that we are painters as well.
Right, yeah, it's no longer such a novelty. It's like, wow, you paint too?
But the
now
show,
it's kinda like, they'll just ask, so do you have some paintings? Any paintings we can check out? It's not nearly such a, like the idea that you're actually a real artist is no longer a jaw dropper.
yeah, but yeah. So the days of interstate, man, like our gallery was packed. And it just really, yours, even because interstate was before the wet paint project even made its appearance, Chris Dingwell's project at Health City. So yours was like the first time that people got to see tattoo artists painting live,
Has Chris still been doing that?
Yeah. Chris still does the wet paint project. He usually has about 10 other painters that he has, that are on the stages and stuff like that. And it's kind of like, like a side room, kind of like we did with interstate. So yeah, he's been doing that, I think the last 5 years, 6 years, maybe more now.
So I'm sure you're bored of talking about this, but you did post about it and I haven't been able to ask you. You did go under the knife recently.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes,
was this a tattoo stress injury kind of related thing?
No, actually I've done 2 procedures. So I'm getting ready to turn 50. And one of the things that I know, right?
I love the first excuse. I'm getting ready.
Hey, I'm still 49, Ben.
You're beautiful.
I got 3 weeks or 3 months. So no, guy, the one thing that I did was actually liposuction around my where all the visceral fat, like around my stomach was, that I just could not burn off. And then I had some of my sides done as well. So I've been wanting to hit that for a while. Visceral fat is like that sticky fat. It's a thick fat that is around like your lower waist. So
tell me about your thick
Tell us all
fat,
about it,
dude.
Tell me about your thick.
Yeah. So now I can see my penis again. So
Yay.
so yeah, I did that. And then today, actually, I did my first stem cell therapy ever.
Oh wow.
So I had injections put into my knees that did not feel good, but I had 2 injections into my knees and then an intravenous bag to and it's all the umbilical stem cell therapy. Just I put my body through a lot. I've got a lot of spine issues as well. So kind of doing all this as like a tune-up to my body. You guys know I've been teaching the longevity of the artist, seminars and stuff like that.
Yes.
That's how to stay healthy.
I mean, this is one of the reasons I'm asking about it.
What's that?
It's one of the reasons I wanted to ask you about this, because I was wondering if it had something to do with that. Because I know that you have had to deal with some crap with your back.
Yeah, and, man.
Then it seemed like that kind of, I don't know. I don't want to say stop being a problem, but it was looking scary from in there.
It was. It almost completely retired, me from walking, man. At one point, I literally was having a hard time walking when the herniation, because I got a T7, so like a thoracic 7 herniation, and I think some of it was definitely the majority of it was brought on from tattooing, twisting to one side, and just kind of like pushing, bulging the disc out so bad. So that's why I started teaching to, the younger generation. The stem cells are definitely going to help with the inflammation. That's definitely going to help with some of the inflammation from the herniations and the bulging disc below it. So yeah, just a little tune up, I'm going to just try to take care of myself. And that's what I try to recommend to people. I'm sure, Guy, do you have any, Guy, you sit straight up like a board though. So your back, you probably haven't had any problems.
My back is in pretty good shape. It's a weird thing though. Recently, just this last couple of months, I've been feeling, serious pain in my shoulders, like rotator cuff kind of issues. And, the more I ask around, the more everyone just tells me, oh yeah, your age, most guys are like, have their shoulders operated on. I was like, oh man, I don't want to hear that.
It's probably like a bursitis. I bet you have like a bursitis, like an inflammation of your bursa sac in your shoulder from like.
Back to science.
Yeah, we had a really terrible storm here a few weeks ago where a bunch of trees got knocked down, and And so there were a couple of weeks there where I was just doing a lot of heavy lifting of odd shaped objects that were not exactly ergonomic, and who knows, it could have something to do with that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Well,
But I'm
tattoo is
really
just
Especially if you're already
part of your
strained.
body.
So, to segue, we've got a small segment prepared for us. Derb, do you want to kind of intro this segment?
Is it everybody talking?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you
Right,
want to
all
intro
right.
this and then we'll start the video?
Yeah. Well, let me go back to, some of the stuff that Fawn, you guys have heard me say before, and I'm sure Guy, you've heard me say this probably when during our sessions. When I first stepped foot into Tim Miller's tattoo studio back in the day, the flash that caught my eye was Guy Aitchison's flash, and it was also the flash you did with Eddie Deutsch back then. I think it was like 1991, right around there.
Nice. Did you know that he and I have got 4 more sheets in progress right now?
You and Eddie do?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
New ones, yeah.
Dude, so that's the classic stuff for me, is like coming into tattooing and seeing guys work and seeing how vastly different it grabbed my eye on the wall from the get-go, and then and Guy, this from when we've gone to dinner, even at the beginning when we first started hanging out, you saw how much of your flash I had tattooed on me from when I was younger.
Yeah, I was pretty amazed by that.
Yeah, and then to go on to collect and stuff like that from Guy too. It's just he's always been inspiring. He's always been helpful in educating the tattoo industry above and beyond almost anybody I can think of. He's literally, and I'm not blowing smoke, but I've always said that they're going to teach about Guy Aitchison in art colleges in the future, because the imagery that he's created out of his imagination is unlike anything that we've seen. We've seen other masters like, H.R. Giger, and a lot of, painters that are, like that, but Guy is within that genre. And without him in tattooing, we would not be seeing any of the experimentation on skin and different imagery, special effects, even cover-ups. He educated the tattoo industry on the proper, on cover-ups and things like that, things that nobody was doing back then, and to me, like he's one of the pioneers. He's a major pillar in tattooing history, and not just tattooing, art. Because go to his house, look at his paintings in person. He's a master, so everybody recognizes that, and everybody in this segment, I'm sure, feels the exact same way. So that's just how I feel. I super inspirational, man. You guys all know what I'm talking about,
Hell yeah.
You want to roll that footage?
Let's roll it.
Oh, I appreciate that, Dirk. Thank you.
Hell yeah, brother.
It was something they put together for you, guy.
Come on, Kyle, press play.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm working.
Where streaming really started for me. Over a year ago, I was a meek-minded girl, afraid to be in front of a camera or really speak in front of anyone. Gabe and Guy gave me the opportunity to start bringing in a show hosted by Fawn Baker. It was their 27th episode. Over the last 73 episodes, I've developed a sense of confidence, a deeper understanding of what it means to collect, and have acknowledged that I could be actually proud of my body like I'd never been before. I've laughed, I've learned, and fallen in love. And all in all, thank you, Guy, for taking a little piece of yourself and sharing it with me and the world. Because if it wasn't for you, I would lack the confidence to even be here. So here's to another 100 episodes, you guys.
Hey, Guy. Just wanted to tell you thank you for all the amazing things that you do for our industry. Ever since I met you 6 months into your tattooing, I knew you would be special. And you are. Thank you, buddy.
From the first time that I ever walked into a tattoo studio, the first tattoo flash that ever really caught my eye and inspired me was Guy Aitchison's flash. Guy, you've been a huge inspiration for me, for the entire tattoo generation. The imagery that you've created on the skin that we never thought could be done, you've accomplished, and you've passed on a lot of education to the next generation as well. So I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. The tattoos that I've collected from you are literally the favorite tattoos that I wear today, and your artwork remains my favorite artwork as well. So I've collected your books all the way back since Special Effects for Tattoo Artists, cover-ups for tattoo artists when they were printed a lot thinner. But those books were so inspiring, man. You've been so inspiring in your artwork thank you for everything you've done at the Hell City Tattoo Festival also over the years. It's been an honor to work with you and to get work by you. So thanks, buddy.
On August 26, 1968, the special person was born. Little did he know at the time he was going to pursue his life dedicating his time to art and all the styles and methods, tapping into the depths, studying and analyzing, sharing his findings with anyone that would listen. But in a larger sense, we all need to hear, feel it, and appreciate all that was done in the past, still being done today, and will continue to be given in the near future by this individual. I'm proud to share the same values and intent to educate, share adding admiration, respect, and value to our beloved tattoo industry. I'm speaking to a special friend, an amazing artist and educator, Guy Aitchison. So I would like to thank you personally, Guy, for your kind friendship, dedication to our craft, for sharing your knowledge, and your humble, simple act to ask for knowledge as well. It gives us all the power to walk together and share knowledge. Our path will always be an unfinished work, but as long as we have people like Guy Aitchison dedicated to the great task of education, not only the tattoo industry, artists, and art itself, will keep alive the spark that is necessary to make a difference. With all the respect and admiration, I'll thank you for your time and knowledge.
Joseph Hefs out of Las Vegas. Just saying thanks, Guy. Thanks for when I came to the industry 20 years ago, when I found your book, Reinventing the Tattoo. Showed me that there was more approaches to tattooing, stepping out of the box. Yeah, man, you're a pioneer and an innovator of this amazing industry. Thanks, Guy.
Hey, Guy, I'd like to thank you, man, for everything that you've done for the tattoo community, the world, the paint world, the art world, and you've been doing it forever, man. So I want to give a big shout out to you. I've been knowing you for a long time, man. Met you back at Tattoo Earth, and you've just been so kind to everybody from every facet to every walk, man. So I just want to thank you for your kindness. It's been overwhelming, man. You've helped us paint, you've helped us learn to tattoo, you've helped us create, and I just want to thank you, Guy, man, from the bottom of our heart, man. Just keep doing your thing, keep shining, keep creating, and keep helping us all out, man. Your Reinventing the Tattoo curriculum is off the chart. It's really helped us too in the long run, man. If you stay with it, it's really pushed me to paint better, draw better, and just focus better. So I want to thank you for that curriculum as well, Guy. Just stay doing what you do, bro, and thank you a lot, man. From Euro Tattoo and myself. Thanks.
Okay, I got 90 seconds. Guy, I love you. No, seriously. I want you to know, Guy, that if it weren't for people like you, I don't think that I would have pushed through in the tattoo industry. Like, quite frankly, I've been doing this now for 15 years. When I entered the tattoo industry, it was a very hostile place for art kids. That was my foundation, was art. And all I wanted to do was my art for a living. And a lot of people met me with some animosity, thinking that I was messing up the tattoo community. And it wasn't until I met people like you who really validated a lot of the foundational skills that I knew that I felt like I belonged in this community of people. So a big thank you to you. I'm sorry I'm fighting the daylight. I just got back from a tattoo guest spot, but I had to shout you out. Thank you so much. Keep being you. Keep inspiring people. Do what you do because it matters. It matters greatly to a lot of us. And I don't think that I would have had the hope to keep pushing in this industry if it hadn't been for people like you. So thank you very much. I love you, man.
Okay. Broadcasting live right now.
I'd like to thank you, Guy, for making me a better tattooer. I've been following your work since I first started working, doing tattoos back in the late 1800s. So appreciate you, man, and thanks for all you've done.
Hey, this is Jason Leeser. Just wanted to say thank you, Guy, for everything that you have done for me personally and professionally. Definitely wouldn't be where I am without you. Thank you.
Nick Mitchell here. Just wanted to say thank you, Guy Aitchison, for being such a badass in the industry. And not just a badass, but a badass that shared his secrets. Like layout, design, movement, and flow. I use all of that every single day with all my tattoos. So thank you so much for being such an awesome part of this industry. And I'm not sure why we're doing this video. Is it your birthday? Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Woo! Have a good one.
Thank you, Guy, for everything you've done for the tattoo industry and everything you've done for me personally over the years. You're the best.
I know I'm double dipping here, but I have to doubly thank Guy Atchison because I also have a podcast. Again, my name is Amy Nichols. I'm one of the hosts of the Apprenticeship Diaries, and we actually are an affiliate of Reinventing the Tattoo, which is really cool because our podcast is about apprenticeships, beginning, learning, foundational study, the journey, exploring people's individual stories and diary entries. And again, if it hadn't been for Guy and the inspiration of Reinventing the Tattoo and the foundational art skills, I probably wouldn't be a tattoo artist today. And he was one of the many awesome, awesome people that I was able to meet in person and actually have say that he liked my painting when I was at an art gathering. And it was just really cool to be recognized by such an icon and to have that around me. And all the people that follow Guy, I am super inspired by, and it's meant a lot to our podcast. We're baby right now, but with Guy's help and with the backing of that community of people, we know that we can really be something. So Guy, thank you for creating so much for everyone out there. You really mean a lot. Thank you, man.
Hey Guy, just wanted to say thank you so much for everything that you've done, not only for me personally, but for the entire tattoo community. Without you helping push my artwork forward to the next level, as well as giving me the chance to even be a part of this community and opening so many doors for everything I could do in the future, I just really want to say thank you so much. The whole community would not be the same without you, so thank you.
Hey Guy, this is Josh Eisen. I work at 1807 Art Collective in Elyria with Jeremy Brown. I'd like to take the time to thank you, man, for everything that you do, for the tattooing community. With that reinventing, it's everything, the knowledge that's there and the things that get passed on. That's you can't put a price tag on that. I know we never formally met, but definitely, for the industry that I love and for somebody that's just continuing to add to it and strengthen it, I just got to give my hats off to you, man. So I'd like to say thanks, and hope you have a good week, man. All right, take care. Bye.
What's up? My name is Ricardo Sturdivant, and I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank Guy Atchison for all the inspiration that he's given us. Without you, I don't know where I'd be in my tattoo career. I also wanted to take the moment to say thank you for all of the personal sacrifice that it takes to do what you've done over these years, and to let you know how much it resonates with all of us, and especially with me. I can't thank you enough, Guy. Take it easy.
I just want to take a second to thank Guy Atchison. You've been a huge inspiration to me in the tattoo community, and everything you've done has been so influential, and I'm just super thankful for you. Super thankful for everything you've done, the art you've made, and reinventing the tattoo. From our ability to do the podcast to everything, you've facilitated so much for the tattoo community and for artists in general. So thank you.
Thanks for the incredible amount of knowledge and inspiration that you share with all of us, Guy.
Hey guys, Mark here from Needle Jig. I just want to thank Guy Atchison for all he's done, being such an inspiration in this industry and a great mentor to all. I met him back in the early 90s at one of his seminars and definitely appreciate him. So thanks again, Guy.
Can't thank you enough, Guy. I mean, really, seriously, can't thank you enough.
Havoc the Saint, Wicked Fast Skincare. Want to say thank you to Guy for everything you've done for the tattoo industry and us as artists alike. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Guy. Your support means the world to us.
Thank you, Guy, for your outstanding work throughout the year and everything you've done for the tattooing community.
Thanks, Guy, for everything. You're everybody's hero, but you're definitely mine.
Thanks, Guy, for revolutionizing tattooing as we know it today.
Hey, Guy. My name is John Anderson, and this book and you changed my life and career. Thank you. Thank you for everything.
From us here at Iron Rose Tattoo Company, thank you, Guy, for reinventing the tattoo.
Thank you, Guy.
Thanks, Guy.
Thanks for everything, Guy.
Thank you, Guy.
Just want to say thank you, Guy. I appreciate you and much love.
Thanks, Guy.
Thank you for the inspiration, Guy.
Thank you, Guy.
Thanks, Guy.
Thanks, Guy.
Thanks, Guy.
Thanks, Guy.
Thank you, Guy.
Thanks, Guy.
The definition of Renaissance is the act of changing in a positive way. You influence and inspire an entire planet. Your energy and endless commitment to our community and your efforts to educate have revolutionized tattooing and art as we know it. You are the Renaissance man of our era. Without your passion and perseverance and this amazing community that revolves around you, none of this would be possible. In one way or another, you're responsible for everything that I love. Thank you for making everything possible, Guy. It has been a true privilege to be part of your team to bring these last 100 episodes to life. I can't wait to see what unfolds over the next 100. Thank you, Guy, for everything. Thank you for the great community. Thank you for the inspiration. Can't thank you enough.
Wow.
Well,
That was beautiful.
I think that's probably the best way to wrap up the episode.
Yeah.
So,
Holy shit. I'm kind of teary-eyed here.
sorry.
Getting choked up, man.
Guy's responsible for a lot of how we're able to do what we do. But sorry. The person who gets the most credit for what we do is Fawn. She pours herself into the show week after week after week
Oh yeah.
for 100 goddamn weeks.
Yeah, right?
Do you know how many things I've quit
Dedication.
after 5 fucking weeks?
Well, thanks, Ben.
Fawn, you are the fucking glue that is this show.
Thanks.
You make
Fawn,
this
you are an
possible
amazing human. Yep.
for all of us. You're the closest thing I've got to family, and I love you.
It's the tattoo family
all
right
of
there.
this.
Hey, sorry, it was I had a call come in right as that video was finishing. Thank you, that was really amazing. Little overwhelming. I was not expecting that. Thanks for putting that together.
Well, thanks, Guy. We appreciate you. We'll send you a copy of it.
Yeah.
So you can.
Are you guys
have it.
putting that video on YouTube? The actual, like, that part of the video?
We can take just that segment and upload it.
Yeah, that'd be a good
Sorry.
one to have up on YouTube.
We've all been trying not to leak, and Ben just
No,
broke
it's a
me.
special episode. It's
Sorry.
a special episode in many
But
ways.
it's the truth. You've sacrificed a lot for what we're able to do here. Same with Guy. He gave us the platform to be able to do this. And if it wasn't for people like you willing to step forward, give us a place to be comfortable, be ourselves, act like ourselves, and share in that community,
Yep.
there'd be no space for a guy like me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thanks,
That's
Ben.
amazing.
I'm glad you're a part of it. Kyle, you too.
We love you.
Even though
Thank
we
you.
fire you every other week.
But it's out of love.
Is he gonna get fired on the 100th episode?
I don't think he's gotten fired yet.
You're gonna let him slide.
I'm gonna get fired if you don't turn my video on. Don't turn my video on, Kyle.
I got you, Todd. Leave it to Todd. Leave it to Todd. Well, this has been an awesome episode. Thank you for everybody who's been able to join us. Todd, we didn't really get to you a lot this episode because we're kind of running out of time, but there's a lot of things that you really bring to the show.
I do want to say one thing because I didn't get to send my video in and that because I didn't film it like an idiot. But the reason I love Guy so much is because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be as tattooed as I am. Early 2000s, When I was playing poker, a guy came up and was playing, and he had a sleeve I got, and that just blew my mind. And that's what got me going to getting into tattooing again, was that sleeve, because that was just amazing. So thank you, guys.
Sure
Thanks,
thing.
Guy.
Yeah, thank
I
you,
love the
guy.
story.
Thank you, guys.
And thank you, Fawn and Ben
Well-
and
Yeah,
Kyle
thank you,
and
Fawn.
Todd. 100
All kinds of
episodes.
gratitude all around. It's taken everybody that's here, and then a whole team of people that aren't present with us, and then we've got all the people that have joined us along the way. So, you know,
Can't
it's
even
definitely been a
begin
team,
to list the
a team effort.
guests
Yeah, it's
that have
definitely been a
touched
team
and
effort.
I've been able to meet and be friends with. And
Yeah,
pretty
I mean,
cool
you guys
thing.
have
All
had.
gonna be together next week too. We'll be all together
Yep.
next week too. Most of
Yep,
us.
Todd's gonna
So
make
I'm
the
looking
trip
forward to
down.
that.
So,
Todd, you going to Red Tree? Where you going?
Yeah, I'm going to Red Tree because Fawn's gonna
Hot diggity.
start some filler work on me.
Nice.
little psychedelic gap fillers.
Nice.
It'd be perfect. Little trippy
Mm-hmm.
additions.
And then, Guy, I'll be
So.
reaching out to you, man. I got to hit you back on the text with the dates. Come down and get my armpit finished.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I always like extending.
Me too.
You know, because it's already such a big, impressive piece, and sometimes just adding that little bit extra on there can just carry it all the way through.
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
more complete work.
I can't wait. So I'll hit you back, man. We'll get that in the books. I look forward to it. I'm getting close. Me and Ben are getting close to finishing our kind of getting close to our
come at
body
me, bro.
suits.
Come at
I
me,
know,
bro.
we're almost
You
in
know,
a race.
I just
Guy-
booked 2 more sessions with Fawn. I think we're
Guy's
gonna
finishing.
book my armpits soon.
Oh.
Watch out, bro. I'm closing in.
Hey, I got guys doing my armpit. Rember's going to do my right foot. I'm not going to do my stomach for a while, obviously.
Booked.
You might beat me
You
because I might
realize
not
how
tattoo
long
my
that's going to
stomach.
take with Rember, right? You realize how long that's
I'm
going to
just
take with
saying.
Rember, because I got a
Yeah.
Rember piece.
And he's going to want
Do
to
we
fight
have-
me because he does jujitsu. So we're going to fight, and then
Yeah,
he's going to hurt
I
me
know.
even more.
Do we have an actual bet, or is it just a gentleman's honor of what
I think it's
wins?
just gentleman's honor.
I think pride is enough. Okay,
You
I
get
couldn't remember
knighted-
what
you
the,
get
the ground.
knighted.
That-
with
that's
like
more
a-
than any money you could put on it.
We'll
A
dine
red
each other.
tree like stick or something. I don't know, figured.
He's gonna get out the purple lightsaber. Doesn't
Wow.
that have a special name?
Yeah,
Doesn't
and I got
the
to
one
get
have a
tattooed
special
by
name? I
Fawn
don't know.
too, because Fawn got inside of my leg a little bit. So the race is on, Ben. Once I'm all
I hear you,
healed up
brother.
here from surgery.
I hear you, brother.
Oh, yeah.
I think I've got more on the books right now than you do, so I'm just going to go ahead and call that out as a challenge. So,
Shit.
All right, guys. Well, let's
100
go on
episodes.
with the episode. We'll see everybody next week for 101.
Congratulations.
high fives.
No.
Congrats.
Sorry, I was looking
See
at
you
the
guys.
screen, not real life. Screen 5.
Yeah.
Love you guys. Thanks for everything, guy.
Love you guys
Right,
too.
guys,
Thank you so much.
Then you